Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. Fighter Cast is running late. Hopefully he will be here. But we have Ryan. I pointed in the wrong direction, but hey, say hi.
You know, this tier list we're gonna do, half of it has to be gone because the ending of Crisis Part 3.
Yep.
None that exists anymore, according to that movie.
We will talk about all the DC animated movies later, which will be good stuff. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the thing. Psychos, you bought that book because of the pictures. Don't lie. We have some news, but we're going to do a DC animation tier list. Next week's stream is going to be insane because it's San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. And even though we have some before Comic-Con news this week, it's probably going to be pretty nutty next week. So that'll be a good time.
So, I mean, did you enjoy the EVO weekend?
EVO weekend was crazy, especially that one guy that was doing the splits and then winning with Hugo.
I saw that. It was great.
We're going to talk about all the video game news and all the EVO news on Kaus' stream tomorrow. So that's how we do it. We talk video game news and history, especially fighting game news. SVC Chaos came back. We are in amazing times. So on that note, let's give a rundown, everybody, in our awesome text chat.
Welcome, RG Marcos, Benjamin Wiseman, Cameron Metter, Cyber Draco, 001, Dr. Gray, Jamie Squirrel, Jeremy Carr, Kaiju 1954, Common Jojo, LPH, Richard Tanuki, Muteki T, Psycho Woes, Santa Celine, Spin Dash, Agitation, Vintage Weeb, Will, and Zelchex.
Welcome, everybody. Jamie's World asked for a link to the Kaus stream. Let me get the. Well, I'm gonna send Kaus's Twitch. You guys should follow him. We have good times. He streams multiple times a week.
Kaus will come later in the stream. Don't worry, he will be on the stream.
Yeah, he'll either be here or he just won't. But he should be here. He's planning to be here. The biggest thing. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so we got some fun news to talk about. I don't know where else to begin because I want to get just so everyone knows, we're going to do the DC animated movies tier list. This is a plan for today. We're going to do the news portion. We're going to do the DC animated movie tier list, and then we're going to do a members only after show as well today because I'm a little crazy. I'm just gonna. This is one of those days. So
what happened last? Well, what happened last week?
What happened last week on the channel? The Digivice. The D3 Digivice video escaped copyright limbo. It was in copyright dispute for 30 days. It's finally out, and people showed up to watch it, which I very much appreciate. I was worried the month delay was going to screw it up. It also had this fun thing where I looked back at it and realized that the member shout-out section was based on the June 13th list.
Yep. Whoops.
Because I wasn't going to go... I couldn't go back and re-edit it. It was too complicated. So
it'll take forever. It'll take it. I mean, watch that video kind of drove me a little insane because you wear headphones watching, the buzzingness of the speakers kind of drove me nuts.
If you think it drove you nuts watching it once...
Editing, I imagine.
Yep. Santa Celine said, let me guess, copyrights do the songs even though it's muddled audio. Funny story. It was the songs, but it was actually the video that got the copyright thing because it was not Toei. It was Bandai saying that I was using footage from their video, even though I had a completely different background and a different angle.
Yeah, brown desk versus white desk.
Exactly.
Oh, super chat from Kamajodo. Are you guys ZYZZ fans? What? Clarify that, Kamajodo. What is that?
What is ZYZZ? I guess we should. I guess the answer is no because we would know immediately.
Yeah.
Welcome, K-Master 653.
Also, like those, I would say I kind of wish with the Secret Evolution, I kind of wish they included Dino Beamon as a secret Jogress evolution because Dino Beamon's like, because Dino Beamon's like the opposite version of Play Digimon, where it's more Stingmon than X-Beamon.
Yeah, I always kind of love that. And I forgot that because people mentioned in the comments. I forgot Sagittariumon and Puchimon were in the 02 audio drama CD. That's why I think those were the secrets because they did exist in some canon.
Canon, yeah.
Yeah. The other video last week was every X-Men movie Marvel Legends figure, which, as you can tell, wasn't very long because there isn't a lot.
When you cut to the Xavier's wheelchair for the Logan bit, I laughed out loud. I imagine that would intentionally be supposed to be funny.
It was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
It's just like you're talking about the movie, then sudden jump cut to just wheelchair, just dead as Xavier.
I was like, this movie's depressing as hell. Empty wheelchair. um,
And as there's some people pointed out was I think couldn't
yeah,
the Jacket Logan be also was it X
Origins.
Origins Logan
The
also?
reason why I didn't put it there is because I didn't want to watch Origins again or even skim through it to decide if it was in there. I just couldn't remember.
Hellfire. Can the wheelchair fit the actually figure as Black Sun figure?
Probably. I don't even have Charles in that chair. I have the old Toy Biz Charles chair that I put my Marvel
because
Legend
that's
in.
film. That's because that's more film.
Yeah.
Which one display? Do you display as Stewart or McAvoy?
Oh, it's still McAvoy from the video. I didn't change
That 2-pack is so weird because I get the idea that with the 20th anniversary line is that when they make it evergreeny, like they didn't want to do too many Ultra versions, but yet it's so like weird. Like Charles, understandable, you could kind of get away with that, even though it's not 100% accurate. But the Magneto one, I think, is the most baffling one because the outfits are not the same.
Exactly. The Charles you could cheat. The Magneto no. Common Jojo said the funny bodybuilder guy of the 2000s. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it is. So, Mr. Doogie says, I really like the X-Men figure video. Or ended up ordering that Kelsey Grammer Beast off eBay. That's a good move. That Beast, I mean, out of the four, like all four of the X3 figures are a little wonky, but the Beast is honestly the best one of them.
Especially that G is fugly. It's
that
really
is
fugly.
Horrendous. It's funny.
I mean, most female legends of that era were all horrible.
The Toy Biz Jean Grey has a better face, but the X3 one has a better body, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but so it's funny.
Master Ben says if my wallet's prepared for SDCC pre-orders. No, because Hasbro's been bombarding me with all my August, September, and October pre-orders right now. I don't want more pre-orders.
A part of me kind of got all my Legends pre-orders are now July because I have a lot of August Hobby Link Japan pre-orders coming.
Yeah.
So a part of me is like, thank God, but also at the same
it's
time.
It's awful, but like everything August coming early helps me because I'm buying the D-Sword Vega next month. And the Reveltech Yusei Fudo. So I got stuff to get in August. I just hope that nothing slips into October. I have 5 omnibuses to buy that month.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the Magneto one's even funnier because you go from 30-something Michael Fassbender to 80-something Ian McKellen. Those bodies do not match.
I know. That Magneto figure is I think probably the worst one in the video for that reason.
Also, I forget for Mystique with Jennifer Lawrence is there any difference between the body? Because I know the hair's the face and hair is different.
How do I say this without sounding sexist? Jennifer Lawrence's breasts aren't as large as Rebecca Romaine's. That's okay. So, and her hips and Jennifer Lawrence's hips are narrower than Rebecca's. So.
I was thinking more like the texture on her, but yeah.
The makeup job was pretty much the same, but the body proportions are very different.
I think unlike Magneto, I would have cheated and include both versions' heads. Honestly, that one.
I think you could have cheated on that. And included, an extra head to make it Jennifer Lawrence. Because Rebecca Romaine was a supermodel. Jennifer Lawrence wasn't. So it's not like to say that... But the thing is, because it's superhero action figures, you can kind of mess with it, you know?
You can cheat.
It's like... You couldn't... I don't think you could cheat a Rebecca Romaine off of a Jennifer Lawrence, but you could cheat a Jennifer Lawrence off of Rebecca Romaine. Does that make sense?
Unlike Michael Fassbender and Ian McKellen, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's just... Yeah, Fassbender and Ian McKellen have completely different body shapes. And big age difference. Okay.
Also, speaking of X-Men, I'm assuming we're not talking about those leak figures here. Yeah,
I don't want to talk about the leaked figures because Comic-Con's next week, or this week, sorry. We're going to get those figures revealed sooner than later. Welcome, Ace. Common Jojo, will you buy Marvel vs. DC Omnis? Yes. Those are 2 of the 5 omnibuses I'm buying in October. I don't know how I'm pulling that off yet, to be honest.
Wait, don't forget your shorts. Yeah, don't forget we need to talk about your shorts.
We'll talk about the shorts in a moment. The DC versus Marvel, the DC Amalgam, the DC Marvel Amalgam, Ghost Rider 2099, Godzilla Marvel, and Moon Knight by Jed McKay are all in the same month.
Oh, that's good. I might get that one. Then the Jed McKay Moon Knight.
I'm getting that. I love Jed McKay's Moon Knight. Hellfire's telling me about D-Sword Vega. What if it has QC issues? I will deal with that when we deal with it.
That's been common because I'm not sure recovery, but isn't
the Gabu Revolver? Yes, Bandai did acknowledge the issues with the Memorial Edition Gabu Revolver, and they're going to send replacements out.
Well, what was this? Is it sounds again, or like is it like or like
Uchi says Brave Ends, so Kyoryu Blue can transform, which is just wrong. So, Cameron asks, "Will I get the Blu-rays for the Crisis trilogy?" Find out when we rank them.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's right, Muteki. Sparking Zero is also October.
And Sonic Shadow Generation.
Oh God, Marvel vs. Capcom's really gonna hit then too.
Also, if you do, because you have to make that finale video for the spine art, you have to. But you know what you do for your intro gag for that video?
Yeah,
is because ending a Crisis, you should have all your. Oh man, look at my beautiful collection of DC anime collection. Then, boom, all disappear in Crisis, and you go no. All the stuff is just a Crisis trilogy. It's the opening scene of that video.
Oh, Master Ben's coming with the hard questions. Does hair exist under Soundout's cap? Yeah.
Are you a G.I. Joe Class FA figure?
No. I mean, I will be eventually. It's not holding strong in my old age, but for now, no, I still got hair. For now. Let's see what else is going on. There was another comment here. Oh yeah, it was Kyoryu Blue has Kyoryu Gold sounds, and Tobaspino and Bragigas have their attack sound swapped. So
how does that happen?
Too many sounds.
Like the Dino, like the Dino.
I say this
maybe,
as someone that did an hour-long video on Digivices. Bandai is putting too many sounds in these things.
Yeah, it's like That's why, much as it's one of the things where it's like I think the voice lines I feel is unnecessary because I think most people are not gonna check every single sound effect in that.
I don't think so either. The fact that there was 220 lines of Daisuke from 02 is insane. Like I only listened to them once to record them for history.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I guess going back to that, just so everybody knows how much work went into this D3 video. This is 55 minutes of video. There is a 10-minute separate video of a speaker quality test comparison compared to the other SCSA Digivices, and there's an hour and a half of the voice lines in the two devices as well.
Yeah, that's too much voice lines. I think
it's too much.
Honestly, I feel like I prefer if they put music honestly over.
I would like, and luckily these have a ton of music, but I would rather have music over voice lines. I'm kind of looking forward to the Odra Caliber Memorial Edition because it doesn't have that many voice lines in it because they're selling them as those little data cards. And I'm like, cool, that'd be easier. Last week's shorts, couple figure arts. We had Ultraman Gaia and Mina Ashiro from Kaiju number 8. I have noticed the Tokusatsu-based shorts do not do as well as the anime and DC and Marvel ones do.
So figure arts in general, where the anime stuff does better than the Toku stuff.
Yes.
Also, it's just really funny. You released a Mina short on the same day a new chapter came out.
Yeah, I didn't plan that, but it was pretty cool. Huh?
It was really funny because the same day I got my Kaiju number 8 figure art, a new chapter came out that day. Also, that's kind of funny. It's one weird coincidence scenarios of that.
The next thing, this week's shorts, I got a review of the Supermassive 2024 one-shot coming out tomorrow. This hits Wednesday in comic shops, so I was like, I need to get that
good? Is that good, like, launching point for Massiveverse, or is that, like, ingrained the storyline right now?
So this actually is, like, I'd say the previous two Supermassive one-shots were good, like, jump-in points. This is tied directly into Catalyst War for Radiant Black.
I figured so. Probably had to skip that then.
Yeah, like, the whole story is, like, basically picking up from 29.5 before issue 30. So.
I'm curious how it would work in the trade format then.
They don't put the Supermassive shots in the trades yet, but I feel like this has to be because of Radiant Black.
Cows,
welcome.
Yeah, what'd I miss?
Not much, thankfully.
We've mostly just been recapping stuff and going off on weird tangents.
Did you enjoy the fighting game holiday weekend for you?
Oh my goodness, yes I did. I was gonna come in being really, really, what's the word? What's that word? When you're antagonistic for no reason?
Aggressive?
Oh, whatever. I was gonna just like make light of the fact that Japan didn't win a single tournament, even though they're all good players. They didn't win they all had a high placings, but I'm like, wow.
I gotta
Japan
turn Kowson's
went
audio
single
down.
tournament.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention that. I have the old mic back.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Sensei Rigid
Chat,
Eye,
let me
John
know when it
Campbell
sounds
Ray.
good. I'll keep tweaking it.
John Campbell Ray. Hello, Soundout Ryan.
Go
I
ahead.
hope everyone enjoys weekend before the Paris Olympic Summer Games are. Oh yeah, that's happening at the same
Yeah, that's
around.
also this weekend.
Hellfire. Oh yeah, Hellfire. Wait, are you gonna do the quick PSA on the Ultimate Universe trades with their updated content? Okay, oh, because I did saw something about that, right? With the
I was
Ultimate
gonna wait till
Universe
they were more
trades?
solid, but so for those collecting the Marvel Ultimate Universe comics, the trades are 6 issues. Some of the solicitations are saying 4 issues. Somebody noted that Spider-Man said issues 1 through 6, but then Black Panther and X-Men said 1 to 4. But when Spider-Man's listing first went up, it said 1 to 4, and then later updated to 1 to 6. And then Dennis Camp, who writes Ultimates, said that all the Ultimate Universe trades are going to be 6 issues. And that Ultimate Universe #1 in the Free Comic Book Day story will be included in the first trade for Ultimates, which is good
Which I
because
was
the
really
Ultimate
glad.
Universe one-shot had been kind of orphaned between other collections.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be in the Ultimates volume. So
Which I'm really glad that's the
yeah,
case.
I love the new Ultimate Universe so much. I'm collecting it in singles right now. My plan is to just buy it all in singles, and then one day they're going to make omnibuses, and then I'll buy the omnibuses and I'll sell my singles.
And then I mean, like, isn't Ultimate Spider-Man on its 7th reprinting right
Yes.
now?
Not being beat by Transformers, which is on its 9th.
Wow.
The other short this week, I picked up a DC Compact Comics edition. These are the like $10 small size like DC collections. I was like, I need to see how one of these work because we were talking about them on the streams. I got Far Sector because it's Green Lantern Far Sector. Why wouldn't I?
It was depressing seeing that new Green Lantern special cover. Seeing everybody got Kyle, Hal, John,
And
Guy, Joe, and Jessica, and
No
then
Simon.
fourth time. It's kind of depressing because someone brings a good point where I think there's a reason why Simon's probably not in a lot of media recently because of current world events, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because of who he is, and that depresses me because I love Simon.
It makes me sad too. But Cameron says, what Transformers comics do you recommend? Skybound's Transformers, the current book.
It's a perfect jumping point for Transformers and GI Joe.
So I'll have a short this week, going over the size, the way it looks and stuff. I did want to point out it is very legible. One of the concerns I had with compact comics was they were making them smaller and it'd be harder to read, but it's very legible. Like the text is very easily read. It's not like it's not a quality issue. So if you're looking at these DC compacts, like they're $10 and you get like a whole storyline in one. I recommend checking them out. More details.
$10
on the short.
ain't bad.
Yeah, $10 is cheaper than a manga now. So
Yep.
Yeah. Also, I highly recommend Far Sector because it's the best Green Lantern comic I've ever read.
Who wrote that one?
That was N.K. Jemisin with art by Jamal Campbell.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jamal Campbell. Oh, Jamal.
Yes, Jamal Campbell did a 12-issue Green Lantern comic, and it's beautiful.
I love their work on Superman. So
yeah,
much,
that's why I started reading Superman again because I was like, Jamal Campbell. I remember it from Far Sector. The other thing too is that Far Sector's got compact comics, and I'm like, all right, cool. Where's my Absolute Edition?
Oh my goodness! I just realized I've been following Jamal Campbell for a long time.
They make some fantastic.
Yeah, it's great art. Yeah.
They and
I was like, the name sounds familiar. Let me look it up. Let me look. And oh wait, yes, I do know.
Yeah.
Them and Dan Moore are some of the best comic book artists right now. They're so good. We got Tomo K. Hope you're staying cool and hydrated. And what do you think of Ultraman Arc so far?
I think Arc's great. I've been enjoying it.
I'm loving Arc. So I was so excited seeing the styrofoam explosions again in the last episode. That I cheered. I love my kaijus blowing up into pieces.
Kals, have you been seeing Arc?
That's so great.
I saw the first episode, and I mean, I liked that. So, I mean,
I love that every episode so far has had a unique element to its fight cinematography.
It reminded me a lot of Max and Mebius, where it was very director focused with those two. I'm really glad to see that again. So good.
I'm definitely enjoying Arc for sure. Highly recommended. Let's get out in the news because we got DC movies to rank, and that's going to take a minute. So we're going to get let's get into the news. Let's do the news thing. All right. Step 1, Blu-ray news. This week, kind of just a couple things. Castlevania Nocturne has escaped Netflix jail. Not too surprising. Not too surprising because the original Castlevania also, it was an escapee.
That's true. The first series did get a release too. Yeah.
Yeah, but season 1's coming out October 8th on Blu-ray. It will have English and Spanish audio, plus production animatics, storyboards, art galleries, and trailers. So
nice actual bonus features for sadly a lot of animated shows don't get really good bonus features, so that's nice to see.
I'm definitely picking this up because I like Nocturne more than the original Castlevania show.
Nocturne, I haven't seen it, but like Nocturne gets a lot of hate for some reason. I don't know why.
There's a reason weird. Nocturne gets a lot of hate, and
is it because a woman wrote it?
Well, woman wrote it, and there's women in it, and there's black people.
People of color. Yeah. Yep.
That's, if you ever wonder why something has an outpouring of hate for no reason, it's usually for any of those elements, because
I guess
the internet
quick. Actually, sort of quick. Thoughts on Acolyte? Because that finished, right? Didn't that finish?
Okay, so I gotta tell you, I went to bat for Acolyte, and they let me down.
Yep.
I thought the first 4 episodes were a great start to the story, and I was really engaged, and I was like, there's some really cool stuff happening. Episode 5 was incredible. Episode 6, I was like, okay, we're taking a little slower. Episode 7 was a shit show, and episode 8 was a rushed finale. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta stop getting my hopes up for Star Wars shows, because 8 episodes is never enough time, and they always have rushed finales. And I would love to see a season 2, but I'm also looking at like the viewership analytics and stuff, and I'm like, we're probably not getting a season 2.
I would say, I think some of the hate I see for Acolyte are really stupid, because a lot of the hate I see for it, about like things they include are things in Legends. Like I saw people complain about like I think the lightsaber whip in one episode. I'm like, that's been in Legends for years. The lightsaber whip, and like
all
I see
the
people
stuff
complain
that I've seen people complain about just for rage bait isn't valid criticism of the show. And it's hard to talk about, like, this show has some writing problems, and there's, like...
Because you feel like you're going to be lumped with the same crowd scenario.
Exactly. Because the thing is
you're like, no, my criticism are actually valid, you know?
Exactly. Like, my problems come in with, like, some of the way the character arcs went, and how the story just kind of, like... because you know how stories have peaks and valleys, right? It peaked so good with episode 5, and then it just kind of, like, it never could even get close back up to it. I felt like they wasted several characters. It was one of those things where I was like, I wish this had more time, because I liked what was going on. It just didn't pull together at the end as strong as it could have been.
I think it was incredible. So I'm not associating with you when it comes to
exactly
Star Wars criticism.
Someone asked if I'm excited for Skeleton Crew, and I'm absolutely not. I could not care less about Skeleton Crew, and hopefully it comes out next year, because I cannot handle any more Star Wars this year. I'm done. I'm tapped out. It's been exhausting being a Star Wars fan over the last 8 weeks with Acolyte.
Did you finish Prodigy Season 2 yet?
I did finish Prodigy Season 2. That's the best Star Trek show ever made. That's recency bias, but that show's amazing.
That's great to hear.
And also they went darker places than I thought they would.
Oh, really?
And they tied into canon in ways that, if you've ever been a Star Trek fan of, like, the 90s shows, you need to watch Prodigy. Like, period. They stealthed in a Voyager sequel, and they stealthed in some other sequels, too. In a lot of ways, fixing some of the issues people have with Picard. Which is amazing for the Star Trek show that was just the kids show.
Yeah, the quote-unquote kids show.
Exactly. Falcon said, upset about Acolyte not being not good. Could care less about the figures. Yeah, I actually, I was going to get, like, when the show was airing, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just get everybody. And even after episode 5, I was like, yeah, I'll still get them. Now I'm like, I think I'm just going to get Carrie-Anne Moss with working knees, call it a day. There's at least a couple of characters they haven't announced yet that if they do announce them, will be like, oh, I want you, and I want you. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be like, I'm good. Very weird camp to be in. I was very excited for the show, and I still think it overall was like, if I was putting it on a tier list, which I'm not doing right now, I'd probably put it like a B. It wasn't the worst. It could have been so much better, though. Yeah. Master Ben, I want Darth Smiley, too. Whatever his name is. The Stranger. I'm still getting Carrie-Anne Moss with knees, though. That's something I wanted for 20 years. All right, moving on. Super Friends, the complete collection DVD has been listed on Amazon. It's just funny because we just talked about Super Friends like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, we did.
This is a 21-disc DVD box set containing, in the dumbest way you could have listed it, Super Friends 1973, 78, 80 to 83, and the Lost Episodes. All new Super Friends Hour Channels, Super Friends, World's Greatest Super Friends Legendary Superpowers Show, and Superpowers Team Galactic Guardians. It has every season in it.
I like this to call it the Lost Episodes.
Do you want to think? Do you want to rack your brain over how much less this could have been? Instead, they wasted 21 DVDs.
Yes. Luckily, though, Warner Archive is putting out a Blu-ray edition.
Oh, good.
Well, is the DVDs like a repack of the older sets, I'm assuming?
My guess, I haven't counted the discs because I honestly just don't care. I'm not going to do this. I think it's probably the same DVDs from the volumes, just reprinted. We don't have a discount for the Blu-ray, but it is going to be Blu-ray. It is going to be HD. It is going to be like upgraded. It would be nice if the DVDs are new and they did just take the HD and downgrade it to SD for the DVD. But you know, I imagine the DVD set's just going to be a repackage. But this Blu-ray set's going to be hopefully a lot better, and I'm actually looking forward to it because I thought it was kind of dumb that we were getting like the new Adventures of Batman on Blu-ray, but not Super Friends, which is arguably a more famous show. So I'm gonna probably pick up the Blu-ray because it's Super Friends. I'm probably gonna pick up the Blu-ray just to have Galactic Guardians in Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But yeah, all 93 episodes. That hasn't gone up for pre-order yet, but it probably will soon. It's coming out September 10th, so there you go. And Miss Nuki says, I want to buy this, but I feel like I'd never watch it. That's my problem with a bunch of shows. There's a bunch of shows I bought that I'm like, I'm never going to watch this. This, at least, I've watched some of enough to know. I think I watched all this. They put the DVDs out they put the DVDs out in like the wrong order. So
eventually you need to do that like chronological fuse DC edition.
What I probably need to do is actually watch Super Friends on this Blu-ray from the beginning to the end because I watched it all out of order because I watched it as the DVDs came out. So, Hellfire says, "How tolerable is this show? It gets better the further you go along." Challenge of the Super Friends is like probably the best of the old era. Superpowers and Galactic Guardians, if you like 80s cartoons, you can enjoy those. Everything else is just, it's very old. First season Super Friends is too much of an educational show even for me. Like, you play that thing at 2 times speed and just get on with your life.
Yeah, because I did get the G.I. Joe Real American Hero on Prime Day. I really am looking forward to binge that and see.
That show is so much better than like I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun.
And eventually I might watch the Deke series just because.
I thought I'd watch the Deke series just because, and I couldn't make it through 6 episodes. I got through the opening 5-parter and lost it halfway through the first episode of the show.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios where it's like, is it as bad as I keep hearing it is scenario?
You gotta find out for yourself.
Yeah.
I will say that G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, the original series, I want you to tell me when you get to Cold Slither.
So me and my friends were watching the Massive Vice. I think the Massive Vice really holds up still.
Really does.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Discotek Media is going to be at Otakon, and their panel will be Saturday, August 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern, and at the same exact time will be a pre-recorded live stream going up on the Discotek Media YouTube channel, so you guys can watch as it happens live. You guys want to know a fun fact?
What?
I'm going to be out of town when this is happening.
Oh, gee.
So what you say is you're going to be at the panel yourself.
No, I'm actually going to be at a completely different convention.
You're not pulling a Maximilian dude when they announce stuff. When they announce stuff, he's actually there on screen.
If I could, I would legitimately go to the panel and just be there, and I would stream it live. Like, I'd be in the room, like, streaming it live. I'm going to a convention the same exact weekend, which the timing's funny on this.
You have a whole chest like harness on you, live streaming it.
Yes, I would. I would get a whole I'd have the ring light out too. I'm going to be going to the Star Trek convention, the unofficial Star Trek convention, the 58-year mission that Creation of Entertainment's been running for years and years and years. Going with my family. That's our like family summer vacation thing. Is we're going to go to this convention. And it's the same weekend as Otakon, so I won't be streaming the following Monday, so we'll have to like catch up on the Discotek stuff like a week later. But if you guys join our Discord server, there's a Discotek Day live chat, so you guys can talk about it as it happens. And I'll be relying on you guys to keep me posted on what's happening, because 4 p.m. is 2 hours before the convention floor closes on that Saturday, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch this live.
The way you describe it feels like we had to play charades to tell you what happened at the stream.
Like Discotek won't just tweet everything themselves. I have to go in the text and read. Oh, did they announce? Oh no, it's not that. It's not that Mazinger. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I was like, of all the timing, it could have happened. So good stuff. That's exciting. I'm excited to see what they will be announcing. You guys ready for some entertainment news? I gotta pause the Twitter video. Hold on. Bert Sellin announced something without a video. Challenge impossible. It just makes it harder for me to report on things. No big deal. Okay. Entertainment news. It's light because Comic-Con is coming up. In like
NJCon, yeah, Discotek recently opened their YouTube channel up again. Not open. Well, no, I think they started used YouTube more.
They're using YouTube because Twitch shadow banned them.
Yep.
Okay. Entertainment. ARG Marcus says, I mean, Creation Entertainment conventions require a vacation level of budget to do a lot of stuff at. Yes, this is very true.
Yeah.
It was like, do we go to Disneyland, which is a construction site, or do we go to the Star Trek convention? And it's about the same price. I think the convention still edges out being cheaper because it's in Vegas, so it's like less travel time. Also, I'm going back to Vegas.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Disney attraction, right? The bulldozer.
Mm-hmm. This is a side note, but like, if you guys, there's an episode of Dinosaurs that someone told me about where they go to a theme park as part of the first vacation that like the dinosaur dad gets from his job, and they go to a theme park and they're like, what should we go do? Oh, we should do this. Oh, no, that's still under construction. We should do this. Oh, that's closed for refurbishment. Oh, we should do this. No, they're building that next year. And I'm like, oh, Disneyland in 2024. All right. Entertainment news. Subaraya Fields Media and Picture Entertainment, the company that owns Ultraman, has been working in Los Angeles to expand things. And they now have a licensing program going into the UK, EU, South America, and MENA markets, thereby solidifying the franchise's place on the global stage. So you guys over in Europe are finally probably going to get something, and that's great because I've been pushing for that. I've been saying for a while it sucks that North America, or not North America, sometimes not even including Mexico, is pretty much the only time we get stuff. But hey, look, Ultraman's pushing.
Which is ironic because I think some of the Blu-rays have that whole print in Mexico thing on them.
Yeah, they print them in Mexico, but they're not allowed to be sold there.
Jeez.
It's the classic.
That's like friggin' like having somebody starving making a sandwich, but they can't eat it.
Yeah.
No. You gotta sell it.
People working at Walmart?
It's like, or the classic Power Rangers film in New Zealand but was banned there for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Funny too. I was just thinking, cows. For once, Alex can't complain.
Yeah, that's the first person that popped in my head.
All right. Next up, Bert Sellin, right off the back of the Power Rangers Dino Fury soundtrack releasing, has announced that on August 2nd, the Power Rangers Cosmic Fury soundtrack will be releasing. And I believe it this time because we actually got the Dino Fury soundtrack when it was said, not like the Beast Wars soundtrack that we're on 4 weeks of waiting for. Yeah.
Let's look at your watch.
Comic Spidey says, is Shout going to SDCC? Shout is going to SDCC. Maybe we'll get another Sentai DVD or Blu-ray. Let's just wait and see if it happens. I'm not going to speaking of Sound, Yes.
Speaking of soundtracks, hey WB, how can I convince you to release the My Major Superman soundtrack, please? I really want to listen to that soundtrack so bad.
I've been waiting 2.5 years for Young Justice season 4 on Blu-ray, so I wouldn't hold your breath.
Yes, I doubt
Not to
it.
mention the
Yep.
fact
Yep.
that like the Dynamic Music Partners who did a lot of music for DC opened their own music label to release their soundtracks because Warner Brothers wouldn't.
Gotta love it.
Anyways, Dragon Ball Daima, the next
Yeah.
Dragon Ball series, we finally got
We
a
finally
date.
got news.
We got news.
So,
October is when it's going to be airing. We got another trailer. There's also some character info. Goku, Supreme Kai, Vegeta, and Piccolo here are marked as mini. So when they pop up in Dragon Ball
that's their-
Sparking, they'll just be marked as mini.
That's their mini.
That's adorable.
That's their label.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had this on your docket, but did you hear about why Dragon Ball, like this whole internal struggle happening?
Yeah, I heard that there's like an internal struggle on the ownership of the Dragon Ball IP that was already complicated prior to Toriyama's passing that has become more complicated
It just,
since
just got
Toriyama's
worse.
passing.
Yeah.
So because was it Toriyama trust? I forget the man in the first.
Akio Ioku.
Yeah,
is the
he
guy.
trusted. He trusted him.
That was his
and
guy he trusted, yeah.
Yeah, he's the reason why we got Sandland, which apparently Solution didn't like.
Ioku basically, he even said, my loyalty is to Toriyama and what he wants. And Shueisha and the rest of them are like, no, you can't.
Yeah, he's the one that greenlit Sandland, which apparently Solution didn't want.
I gotta give props, and I'm glad there's still people like Ioku out there who still care about creators.
He's like, I'm going to strangle these rights so that I can make stuff that Toriyama would have wanted. And
Sandland will get attention, damn it! It will.
Yep.
And also apparently, like he like split off from Shueisha and has been like very vocal.
And he's only called Capsule Corp.
Yeah, he calls him Capsule Corp. Yeah, his new company's called Capsule Corp, and he's also like very opposed to the use of generative AI. And I'm like, oh, this guy's the best. I like him.
Of course, and that's sadly why there's a big fight of the ownership. Then,
yeah,
sadly.
He's the reason there is a custody battle, but honestly, like if he's got the best interest of Toriama's legacy in mind, then by all means, I'd back him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's what Geekdom said too. Geekdom's like, look, I hear he may be a little condescending, but if he just wants to, like, no, I'm on his side, like for real.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's both. It was him, Switch, and Bandai. I heard was also in that fight also, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Because Bandai's supposed to be only having the rights to anime and video game related stuff or something. Like their video games can only be anime based, not manga based.
There's a reason why. Yeah, there's a reason why something like Vegeta's Ultra Ego form is not in game. That's like Xenoverse 2 had to create a not Ultra Ego form for Vegeta because of that and such.
Anyways, this show, as far as we know, takes place after Super. It's an anime original, and the characters get shrunk down to mini size. They're not being like time traveled back to babies.
And if you don't know, the basics, the story is about the demon world and like a demon world civil war.
Yeah.
So you're telling me Beelzebub will make a cameo in this series?
I will tell you that it probably wouldn't, only because of the custody battle.
Yes,
but it would make a lot of sense.
It would make a ton of sense, but I wonder if Ikkyo just like grabbed Sandman and ran away.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk comic books because Comic-Con's this week, guys.
Remember, Comic-Con is not just Comic-Con just not just movies. It's Comic-Con for a reason.
So these are like our pre-Comic-Con news. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like
pretty much previews
stuff.
pretty much.
Yeah. Let's see. So there's actually some very interesting stuff going on. A lot of follow-up to things we talked about prior, which is super cool. Because I like follow-ups because we speculate a lot on this show, and it's nice when we get confirmation.
I forget. Was there a confirmation of a Skybound like Energon Universe panel at Comic-Con?
Yes, there will be an Energon Universe panel at Comic-Con. And there's going to, I think, a few of them and a bunch of signings. Massiveverse is going to have a big panel. Kyle Higgins says it's going to be the biggest announcement they ever made, which is super exciting. Hyped. Love those things. All right.
Because the Catalyst War should be over.
Catalyst War
around that point.
When does issue 30? I think issue 30 is next month, so we're close to the end. DC asked the question, are you all in?
AEW or... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so basically...
I said DC.
DC, all right, let's how do I approach this? DC has announced another jumping on point for their comics.
Well, I view it more
Oh.
like was it because I forget it was DC Rebirth and was it all Infinite Frontier after Rebirth or I forget
Yes.
was after. So I meant because Dawn of DC was the big jumping on point.
Dawn of
New member
DC was
ones
a big
everybody.
jumping on point. They basically torpedoed by taking 2 months off of every book to do an event.
Yep. So this was first the Infinite Frontier of for the Dawn of DC
Yes.
era where it
And
new
kind
arcs
of like
books.
how Infinite Frontier started with DC Future State, which showed like possible futures. This is going to be 2 separate things happening at the same time that are somehow connected. There's going to be your main universe here, which you can see on the right side with our new Justice League. Which, hey, Booster Gold and Zatanna made the Justice League cut again. That's great.
Is this Starfire's first time on Justice League?
I think it is. No, do we count Justice League Odyssey as a Justice League?
I mean that was a sub team. I always kind of called it. So like this is like the main team, but
It's like the first time Starfire's been on a main team. Let's go.
I mean,
with that.
if any Titans members I think deserves to be join the Justice League, it's Star.
Yeah,
because she was the leader for a good chunk of it.
Definitely, it's like when Storm finally joined the Avengers. We're like, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a new Justice League, and all the comics, the mainline comics for the main universe, are going to be starting new arcs in October. So they're going to be like, let's jump into this.
Some with the same teams like Joshua Williams, Superman, Chip Zdarsky, Batman, Tom King, Wonder Woman, all Jeremy Adams, Green Lantern, but some like Nightwing, Titans.
We'll talk about the list of the changes in a moment.
Yeah.
And then the other side of this will be the the Absolute Universe. Brand new continuities with changed versions of the characters.
What's that mean? Can I copy your homework? don't copy it closely.
Yeah, just change it so it's like change it enough.
Exactly. It's going to start with the DC All-In Special on October 2nd. This is going to be spinning out of the Absolute Power event. So if you love events leading into events, I don't. I'm tired of that shit. But if that's your jam, this is going to be like the kickoff point. Darkseid seems to be very involved with this. So what's going to happen after that is they're going to be launching a new universe called the Absolute Universe, featuring Absolute Unit Batman, absolutely gorgeous Wonder Woman,
Absolute Unit, huh?
and long hair Superman.
Why is he built like that? Why is Batman built?
I don't know. I've been seeing leaks about this Batman art for months.
I was just imagining instead of like here comes a Batman, you hear the villain say, "Oh Lordy, he coming!" Yeah.
So the Absolute Universe is going to have a creative lead in the form of Scott Snyder, kind of like how Jonathan Hickman is the one for Ultimate Universe. And these are going to be the first 3 titles. There's leaks that there are going to be more. So if these don't catch your fancy.
So we have Scott Snyder for Batman, right?
Yes.
Then Kelly
Batman
Thompson
will be Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta on art. Wonder Woman will be Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. And then Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval will be doing Superman. The thing that I find interesting is that these are all versions of the characters where what if the thing that defines them isn't part of them? So, for example, Batman is not rich, nor has a mansion, nor a butler. Wonder Woman didn't have the mascara, and Superman didn't have. I forgot. I zoned out.
The cans.
No Kens, no Fortress of Solitude, and no home.
And like I hear that I'm like, first off, but Batman, that's the current stuff. That's the
currently Batman is broke and has no butler.
Yeah, so like, what's the difference? What's the difference besides?
My guess is that he's just starting without those things.
Yeah. The Wonder Woman one, I'm interested. Wonder Woman, I go, hell, she made it. But like the reason why I'm excited for Wonder Woman because it's Kelly Thompson. Kelly Thompson has like been GOAT for all her books, so I'm looking for that. Superman scares me.
I personally speaking, Kaus, do you have any thoughts before I go into my thoughts?
I just want to say I actually like the Superman the most out of those.
I like the design of the Superman because it's different. I like it. I like the kind of red arm thing. Storyline-wise, I'm probably only going to read Wonder Woman, but I'm not even going to buy it monthly. Same. I'm just going to read it on DC Universe because
I'll buy it the first issue. If I liked it enough, I'll keep buying it. But
I only want to read it because Kelly Thompson's great.
Same.
See if you like it, and then
I'm getting one because of Kelly Thompson alone. But the Superman terrifies me because I feel like we gotten back to people realize like what Superman is, and I see this and I go, oh no! I don't know.
You know why I don't want to read Superman?
Why?
I'm still mad at Jason Aaron for what he did to Robbie Reyes. I'm like
Hey.
hesitant to pick up the new Ninja Turtles comic because of how mad I still am about the Robbie Reyes thing with Jason Aaron, which I'll talk about in the next story. But
but Jason
the thing
Aaron,
someone
good.
pointed out to me, or pointed out in a live stream, and I was watching the live stream, is they said, "Wait, all three of them are homeless. That means they could rent an apartment together, and that's how you get your Justice League."
I love that. If that's the case. So yeah, no, the super like the 1D. Maybe something cool coming that Batman. No, that's just kind of boring.
I gotta tell
Superman,
you, Scott Snyder writing Batman is like Dan Slott writing Spider-Man. It doesn't matter how much good stuff they did. I've just too much of it. It's overdone. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm good.
The Superman. I see that dark, gloomy, long hair.
I would
red
love it if he just
heat
was like
vision.
happy, cheery, smiley boy still, and it's just he has this
I
like,
really
emo persona.
That's what I'm hoping. That's like the
Yeah.
best case scenario. But like, as someone who's Superman's biggest offender, and I'm glad more people are seeing the light. Thank you, my Adventure Superman. It's like, oh god, not again. I had to deal with
I would love it
if
if he was like he looks like an emo boy, but he's actually just like the happiest dude of the three.
I hope. That's my hope. That's my hope.
Moving on to other things, several books are getting new creative teams, like we mentioned. So Batman is going to still be Chip Zdarsky, Jorge Jimenez on art, which is great because Jorge Jimenez's art is beautiful. Detective Comics is going to be now Tom Taylor and Mikel Janin. Tom Taylor is another writer that I kind of wish would stop writing because I'm just tired of him.
I don't. To be fair,
I don't hate his writing. He went straight from Nightwing over to Detective Comics, and that's where.
Yeah, what's the difference scenario?
Yeah. Also, it has the worst thing I hate. I hate every time they do this with DC. Let me just read you the description. Years after the tragic murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne, a ghost from Gotham City's past has been lying in wait to strike Batman ever since that fateful night in Crime Alley. The story will result in major changes for the Dark Knight, and things will never be the same again. We've done this shit like 6 times. I'm done. I don't care.
And I need just comics with Ultimate Media, so...
Yep. Action Comics is going to be Mark Waid and Clayton Henry. And that sounds great, with a backup called Supergirl Universe End with Mariko Tamaki and Skylar Patridge. But I'm not going to buy this because why is Action Comics going weekly again?
Wait,
this
isn't
the 80s. These books cost $4 to $5 an issue. And yes, Action Comics, I hope it's not forever, but for at least October, Action Comics 1070 to 1073 is going to be released on October 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th.
That's weird, because Superman's not even gonna be week. That's weird. Like not even House of Brainiac was weekly technically.
Also, Batman's twice a month, but I think that's been normal for a while.
Yeah, that's been normal for Batman and Spider-Man.
But yeah, Action Comics is going to be weekly again, and I'm just like, no.
Because I was like, man, I've been thinking of getting back to Action Comics. I see that, like, oh no, that's not good for my budget.
Superman, Joshua Williamson is going to get Dan Mora as the new artist on Superman, which is going to be amazing.
Perfect. Yeah, that's the thing. You know what's funny is, like, with all this new absolute power stuff, I'm more interested in like the stuff for the main universe stuff honestly than that, because I just hear because I love Joshua Williams from Man, and I hear Dan Moore is joining, and then we're getting Superwoman. That's probably Lois.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, give me all of that. I love that so much.
I'm more excited about the creative team shakeups on the current era books more than I am the Ultimate Universe. Sorry, the Absolute Universe.
Absolute Universe. Yeah,
my brain keeps slipping. Santos Lean says their comics usually monthly. Yes, they usually are. And the thing is, if you're going to do a weekly comic, and I do mean this legitimately, you cannot do a $4 to $5 weekly comic. It's too expensive. You're spending like $25 a month on one book. I ain't doing that. If I see a weekly book nowadays, I don't do it. If you're going to charge $1 a week, then that's different.
Exactly.
unless you're a 2099 event. I do weekly 2099 events only because it's weekly for 5 weeks, and then they give me 4 months off, and then they come back and do another 5-week weekly, and then they give me 4 months off. Versus this, which it sounds like Action Comics is just going to be weekly all the time. Like, if you're going to do an event, I'll do weekly. But if you're not going to do an event and it's an ongoing, why are you doing weekly?
Yeah.
All right. Wonder Woman by Tom King still exists. Green Arrow. Sorry, I just don't like Tom King. No offense to anybody that does like Tom King.
Remember that joke I showed you?
I'm not sure what's the
Tom, you are not cooking.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure what's the consensus of Tom King's Wonder Woman run. I haven't heard anything bad, but I haven't heard anything like amazing.
You know
just
what I
hear the
wish was
art's great.
happening? I wish Tom King was doing Absolute Wonder Woman and Kelly Thompson was doing regular Wonder Woman.
I know, right? Yeah, I would say the art looks gorgeous in Tom King's Wonder Woman run.
It does. He always gets good artists. That's always the
Mhm.
way to stomach his weird ass writing. Anyways, Joshua Williamson is going to be ending his run on Green Arrow with issue 350. Yeah, we did a legacy number jump thing, and then a new creative team of Chris Condon and Montos will be doing the series after that because Williamson's going to be busy with all of his other stuff. And then every other book that's not listed that hasn't been canceled, because a bunch of the books I liked got canceled recently, will be continuing at the same creative teams. So the question is, DC has this thing, and their whole thing is all in. Are you all in? Because boy, am I not.
Well, that's the thing. All in. I'm all in for the books I'm already reading, like Superman and. Actually, now think about it, I think the only book that survived I'm reading is Superman. Oh, God.
Only World's Finest, Green Arrow, and Shazam and Birds of Prey survived for me.
Yeah.
But I will say the only thing I'm going to be jumping on, most of the stuff I want to read, I will read Batman, and I'll read Action Comics, and I'll read Superman, and I'll read those, but I'm going to read those on DC Universe. I'm not buying them monthly because there's just too many books. All in feels like a threat. Because it's just too expensive to be all in. Because of how they've explained it so far, it seems like all these things are still going to be in their own little circles. So I don't think you need to read all in.
Yeah, like that. That's the good thing about modern events, at least. But like it's weird because like I was worried that DC was not doing as well, but then I checked. No, I know DC's doing fine. It just feels like it wasn't doing as well because all the books have been ending versus Marvel and Image and IDW. It just it just kind of annoys me just how much like Dawn DC I think was a perfect entry point. That's how I got
ruined it with Night
comics.
Terrors.
Yep, and such all these like miniseries that should have been upgraded to like Spirit World, Doom Patrol, Hawk Girl, like they were all fantastic books, and then they just got cut pretty much like
and by the time the trades came out, the initiative was already over.
Yeah, I mean, also just hate how late DC's trades are. Like they're so late. Like I just look how Image like
Blue Beetle's first trade comes out after the final issue.
Yeah, versus Aaron John, like the Aaron John universe of our Image. The arc ends, trade comes out pretty much like almost right away. And I'm like, why can you not do that?
I don't know why they can't do that. I mean, they got Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Its hardcover came out like 2 weeks ago, like almost immediately after that miniseries ended. They had it out, so they can do it. They just choose not to.
It is bad because that's how most common people read comics is trades. Like, come
on. Let's see. Muhammad Dupp said, "Is World of Finance a good jumping on point?" Yes, because it's basically like Mark Waid redoing the Silver Age. So it's just like its own thing.
It's pretty evergreen.
It's so good. My mom reads World's Finest. She doesn't read any other DC book, but she reads World's Finest because it's just Batman and Superman like adventures that don't tie into all these events and stuff, and she just gets it by just reading it, and she likes it. So World's Finest is great. AR says, I can tell Soundout is all out of the Absolute Universe. At the moment, yeah, Kelly Thompson's Wonder Woman's the only thing that could possibly grab me. But it's not grabbing me the way that... See, the thing is, the current Marvel Ultimate Universe, especially Ultimates, is so good that this just feels like a cheap copy.
I know, right? Because all the Ultimate books are fantastic.
Yeah, especially Ultimates. Ultimates is like making me feel like I am getting so many feelings from Ultimates that I can't describe yet.
They took what does the A stand for Cap's helmet and made it sad. They made it sad, impactful.
And their new Hawkeye for Ultimates is a Native American warrior, which makes Hawkeye's original costume make sense.
It's so.
All right, let's go super positive. Hey, Kaus, remember that character I really like that Marvel seems to ignore?
Ghost Rider?
Yeah! The Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider Marvel Voices one-shot is also hitting in October 2nd.
Where's Robbie?
Where's Robbie? Robbie's back. Robbie's back.
Robbie's not on screen, everyone should ask.
Yes!
Where's Robbie?
I'm so excited for this. So this is going to be an anthology, much like how this year's Marvel Pride issue was the wedding of Mystique and Destiny. This year's Marvel Voices Comunidades issue, or their Hispanic and Latin America Heritage Month issue, is going to be all Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider focused, which I think is fantastic, and it's the apology notice I needed from Marvel after they let Jason Aaron literally throw the character into a void.
So Kate, what's the recap of what's Robbie's current status?
Okay, so Robbie's current status
out?
is that at the end of Jason Aaron's Avengers, actually they sum it up right here. Since the end of Jason Aaron's Avengers, Robbie has been stranded in the God Quarry, which is literally just a void where the character doesn't exist. He basically took Robbie Reyes, put him on the Avengers, made him the most generic Ghost Rider ever, took all his personality away, forgot his brother existed after a certain point, and then had him be the ultimate all-rider of the multiverse to help save everything, and by saving everything, he trapped himself in a void. And we never followed up on what the hell happened to Robbie's brother. There was a Marvel Voices Comunidades issue last year, which had a Robbie Reyes story that was him in the God Quarry, fixing up his car, waiting to get out, and remembering a story from the past. And I was like, okay, cool, but like, when is he getting out of this void? He's finally getting out of this void. He's going to be in the Spirits of Vengeance comic, which is coming out in October as well, but he's also going to have this one-shot. So, it will be 3 stories. The first story is going to be see what he's been up to there. So basically, he's been stranded in the God Quarry. See what he's been up to there and how his family and friends are dealing with his heroic sacrifice in a story by writer Carlos Hernandez and artist Moses Hidalgo. That sounds great. I think that's exactly what we needed, was to kind of get that. We needed that back. Next up, co-creator Felipe Smith, who helped co-create Robbie Reyes. Felipe Smith's amazing. And artist Daniel Baseless unleash Robbie's full power against an interdimensional enemy in an uplifting tale of inspiration and heroic destiny. Sign me the hell up. I'm so excited. And then lastly, to round out this whole thing, hell breaks loose at the roller derby with the thrilling debut of Phantasma by writer Melissa Flores, who we know from Power Rangers and Dead Lucky, and Marvel Stormbreaker artist Jan Bazaldua. This is the first time I'm reading these names. Meet Isabella Izzy Alvarez, a Colombian roller derby champ with a cursed secret as she teams up with Robbie against a horde of hellhounds. And for those wondering what Phantasma looks like, she debuted on a variant cover recently. Now she's a character. Look at her; she's amazing.
Oh, so it's like May Storm. It's like how May Storm from Ultimate Universe got the
like May Storm, like Gwenpool. Yeah, its variant cover character was so popular they thought, let's make him an actual character.
Yeah, I love her design so much.
So this is going to be the Gerardo Sandoval cover with Phantasma and Robbie. There is also this cover by Jay Gonzo, which is a very much like Mexican street art Dia de Muertos style, which is perfect for the season. And then the main cover is going to be by Humberto Ramos, who's one of the best Spider-Man artists ever.
I know him very much. Yes.
I got to talk to my comic shop and see if I can get all 3 covers, because I can't pick. I can't choose.
So, you can use all those treated as like Satan summoned the resurrected the Robbie legends.
Yes.
In the void.
I gotta say, the fact Robbie's out of the void, the fact Robbie's in the Spirits of Vengeance comic, and now he's getting this, that Marvel Legend's coming, right? Like,
don't forget Hellstrom. Don't forget Hellstrom.
Hellstrom already escaped, and I'm like, that was the first indication. But now I'm seeing Robbie back in the comics. Like, if they're gonna put him out again, let's go. This is the most exciting comic coming out in October. So, no shade to all the DC stuff. This for me is like the greatest thing that's happening this year. I'm so excited. You guys got any thoughts on this before we move on?
I'm just glad. I'm glad Robbie's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your back.
Yeah. All right. Also pretty exciting is an upcoming one-shot from Power Rangers. Oh, sorry. Boom Studios stopped making Power Rangers comics. I can't talk about this. It doesn't exist.
Racing Crisis.
Anyways, I think this is also October. Yeah, October, there is going to be a new Power Rangers one-shot. Power Rangers Across the Morphin Grid. You can see 3 different covers here. We got one by EJ Curry, Riley Rossmo, and Matt Taylor. This is going to be an anthology one-shot of 5 Ranger stories written by the actors who played them. Which is just the coolest thing I think they could have done. So it goes into detail here, but basically it's going to be, let's see, where's the description of who's in it? Okay, it's going to be David Yost writing a Billy story, Walter Jones writing a Zack story, Steve Cardenas writing a Rocky story, Matt Groom is co-writing with Steve Cardenas. Sometimes you need, because if you're an actor, you're not necessarily a writer, so it's always good to have a co-writer. Nakia Burris and JD Stumpin are going to be writing a Tanya story, and Megan Camarana, who was Hyperforce Pink, is going to be writing a Hyperforce Pink story for Chloe. She's also a comic writer because she worked with Melissa Flores on Radiant Pink, so she's already got experience there.
I think didn't she write the Power Rangers Unlimited Hyperforce story or no?
Yes, she did. It was her and Melissa co-wrote the Hyperforce story as well. So it's really cool. It's a thing that DC and Marvel have done, and that I'm glad Power Rangers is doing. I think it's really cool. And yeah, also, Jeremy Carr said, Amy Jo Johnson comics sold well, so this is kind of like a next step, and I think it's cool.
I hope this does well to kickstart this as not just a one shot, but ongoing. Maybe not with actors writing for the characters, just more, but just
an anthology series,
anthology book.
Yeah, I would love an anthology book. It's all I've ever really wanted from Boom Power Rangers. I think it's just so cool.
So I still think there's gonna be a new main series actress, right? Whether that be Mighty Morphin or Zeo or whatever. I feel like this could be potentially a good side book to replace what, like Go-Go or Unlimited or
and
Power
even if
Rangers.
It's just quarterly one shots or something instead of an ongoing, that's fine too.
Like a Marvel Voices, like a Marvel
Voices, yeah. Oh, that'd be cool if we could get like spotlight issues throughout the year to tie into months. Like you have a Black History one shot or a Pride Month one shot. I think that'd be cool.
Wouldn't the Pride just be Izzy and
Fern, and then Ari and Emmy?
Yeah, so there's two stories.
And then you just start canonizing what everyone's always been saying about Haley and Kelsey, and then you just move on with life. AR says, I wonder if this big potential announcement coming at SDCC. They do have an entire panel dedicated to the Boom Studios Power Rangers comics at Comic-Con. So, and considering that the final part of Darkest Hour comes out next week, I would imagine we're getting some news at Comic-Con. At least I hope so. All right, next up. In the world of the Ninja Turtles crossover with everybody, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X Naruto.
Yes. I saw this a couple days ago, and I was like, what?
This came out of nowhere, but I love this.
This cover started floating around, and I was like, where's the actual news? Who's working on this? So this cover here is done by Jorge Jimenez, who's doing all 4 covers, is the kickoff in October for a 4-issue crossover. The cool part is that it's not that the Turtles travel to the Naruto world. The Turtles exist in the Naruto world.
Oh, I like that better. Yeah.
Hey, look! If we have space ninjas, why not Ninja Turtles also?
Exactly.
And dinosaurs and ostriches.
Yep.
Here's a Henry Prestado art.
Even that place, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is apparently like a big collab between IDW and Shueisha or Viz, one of the two.
Viz is the one that said that they're doing it. So.
Well, I imagine they had to get approval for Shueisha at the same time, but still, it's really cool that they're doing this.
Here's some of the interior artwork previews. You can see that the Turtles actually have Anbu masks, which I think is cool. Really the Turtles are Anbu. So there's Raph, there's Mikey. Here's a look at April. I think April.
I love this April design. First off, great to see more Black Aprils, but I just love her design.
So I love April going back to original skin tone, right, Jerry?
Yep.
This is great, because I think her design fits the Naruto world well. She doesn't stand out too much, which I think is good. And here's Splinter, who's also got an Anbu-style mask as well.
He looks great.
I think it looks fantastic. I like how he has the Sage Scroll thing. This will be, so like I said, this is a 4-issue miniseries. It is a crossover. It mentions Viz, not Shueisha, but Viz. Working with acclaimed manga publisher Viz, IDW is pulling together 2 of the most popular comics in the world to bring you a 4-issue comic book event. And it is going to be written by Caleb Gollner, who's written for Sonic, and Henry Prestea, who's done Power Rangers artwork. And then there's also going to be Jorge Jimenez covers as well, which is cool because Jorge Jimenez is a big Naruto nerd.
It's great. So. This is really cool.
It's one of the coolest things.
I find it's part 1 Naruto. Then not Shippuden era Naruto.
I think
I
because
feel
Shippuden era, everybody's depressed. So like, let's go
I think
part 1 when
I think
everything's fun.
well also I feel like because nostalgia because a lot
Hmm.
there's a lot of Ninja Turtles and Naruto fans that watch like 2003 Turtles alongside Naruto and Toonami.
That's true.
So I feel like there's more of a connection with nostalgia with
I
part 1
also
Naruto and the
wonder if they'll
Turtles.
pull a TMNT Batman Adventures and then like halfway through the miniseries they do a time skip.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Um,
Cameron's mentioning a Ninja Turtles and Daredevil crossover. That's kind of like if Galaxy Quest crossed over with Star Trek. You don't want the parody to cross over with the original. It's almost too on the
yeah,
nose.
on those.
Because yes, Ninja
Um,
Turtles is the giant Daredevil parody.
yeah,
That's how it
yeah.
started.
I see people talk about other stuff because
I
in
still want
I think
Dragon Ball and Superman.
well more
Oh,
about I
that'd
saw
be
'cause
cool.
I think it was the last issue of IW Sonic in the letters page. There the IW editors mentioned that there's a possible crossover with IW Sonic comic
Mm.
coming. And I'm like, is it Sonic and Dragon Ball? Is it finally happening?
Sonic
If
and
they're doing
Dragon
something
Ball would be
like this,
great with all the Super Sonics running around and the Super Saiyans and all
yeah.
the Trunks could meet
I mean,
Silver.
if it's that or Godzilla, people were debating is either
Yeah.
Godzilla or Dragon Ball with that coming that crossover they hinted in the letters page. But this
K
is really
Master
cool.
says, "Do you think Mikey and Naruto would be the best of friends for pulling pranks and
Yes.
having a?" Yes, absolutely. They're going to be the best friends. They're already both
Yeah,
orange.
we better see ramen pizza.
Oh, we
Eat
better.
ramen pizza.
I mean, they're both already orange too. Like those two have so much in common.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for this. Jerry, you excited for this?
It's kind of made for you, isn't it? Scenario.
Yeah. Oh, he's on mute.
Oh yeah, I just didn't want to hear it. I don't think it picks up my crunching, but I just was making sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited because this actually makes sense.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It makes so much sense. I think it's perfect. I'm so
Here's the
excited.
thing: do they Playmates who make Naruto toys? for the
Playmates
time?
will do anything for a buck, right? So probably.
Exactly.
Let's reuse those classic molds again.
Yeah. This is pretty good news. I'm pretty hyped about this. All right, next up. Hey, remember when Star Wars comics were ending forever and they're never coming back because comic relaunches are a thing that never happens? Oh wait,
Never.
that's right. We said they'd be back sooner than we thought, right?
After 1 month, after
1 month.
1 month,
After one, they were like, "Oh, the Star Wars saga
Some-
ends in September and it starts again in October."
somehow Star Wars comics have returned.
Yes, somehow Star Wars: The Battle of Jakku, Insurgency Rising. They're not going to be jumping back into like an adjectiveless Star Wars title. They're going to be doing a 12-issue maxi series called The Battle of Jakku: Insurgency Rising, showing Han, Luke, and Leia and their involvement in the Battle of Jakku, which is the event that like ends the Empire. It's like after they defeat the Emperor, they go clean up the rest of the Empire, and that's why all that space junk is on Jakku later. Because that's where the final battle of the Empire took place. And this is going to be a series chronicling that. And they've already shown 4 covers for it, which is pretty impressive.
Because
So,
in terms of a time, I guess in terms of timeline, I forget. Mando take place.
Mando
So this
is
like right after
5 years later. 5 years after the
and this
Battle
is
of Jakku.
this is the right after return, right?
Yeah,
what
this
they're
is
saying?
like they leave Endor and they're like, okay, what do we need to do now? Okay, let's clean up the Empire because they gathered at Jakku.
All right, so yeah, timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, this so still can work at timeline wise. Yeah.
We've seen some of the Battle of Jakku in the Battlefront 2 video game and this one app that existed around Force Awakens time. So it's nice to see this kind of like fill that storyline out a whole lot. Which I'm actually excited for this more than just because like now we have open-ended time space.
Well, it's actually connected to the sequel trilogy, which they're
Yes.
so scared to do. So it's nice to see that they're going connecting the dots.
Which this will be fun for like a year because it's going to be, I think it's going to be monthly and it's a 12-issue series, which is pretty cool. And then there's also going to be, they're re-releasing the prequel trilogy comic adaptations as a graphic novel form.
Oh, that's nice.
There's some more High Republic adventures, and there's a new Star Wars encyclopedia that has a foreword by Rosario Dawson, also known as Claire Temple from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, right, she was also Ahsoka. But anyways, that was just some extra Star Wars news. I think it's cool that they're just going to go, let's do the Battle of Jakku, because I think that's kind of, it's an unexplored time that we could really use some depth on, for sure. Yeah. Comic book news. I'm pretty excited that if this is the stuff we're getting prior to Comic-Con, the stuff we get at Comic-Con should be pretty good, right? Like, I have a feeling, you know, maybe not DC. I think DC did kind of probably intentionally like load up on what they were doing.
I'm really curious what Marvel has, because Marvel's having and
Marvel's
especially
gonna be
Energy,
interesting.
especially Energy Universe.
Room says, maybe I'm stuck on this, but what sort of help could the Turtles offer Naruto in his setting? Even in his child form, he's like a crazy wizard, and there's just sort of mutants with martial prowess.
I mean, they could go TMNT 2003 season 5
and just get like
they have
ninja
Mystic
tribunal powers.
Yeah,
that could be something.
I was also thinking
like
also Rise also.
Rise. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's just gonna be the fun of the characters that working out, because like Batman didn't need the Turtles to take down stuff really. It was Batman. He has a whole Bat family. You need also Ninja Turtles. Nah, it's just fun. But it's exciting. All right.
What would Naruto universe version be if Casey Jones would look like? I wonder. Would you have like equivalent of like the Zabuza's mask, or like paint, or like Toby's
Haku's mask?
Or Haku's mask. Yeah.
I imagine him as like Rock Lee.
Yeah.
You know?
No actual like everything.
No actual like regular skills, yeah. He's just really good.
He's just really good punching things.
Oh no, he's like Tencent, the weapons expert.
Oh, he's like a mix. He can't do ninjutsu, but he can summon weapons. Or he can use weapons, but he has to carry them all. So he can't summon them like Tencent. All right.
There you go.
I like that. McFarlane Toys announced the Jonah Hex and General All-Star Western Gold Label 2-pack. Quote, not a toy.
Not a toy.
Not a toy. This is it. This is a McFarlane Toys store exclusive. Not a toy, but is on the McFarlane Toys store. It is Jonah Hex and his horse. That horse has been getting a lot of use.
Sound out. What are those things on next to his legs?
Yes, he does include guns. Yes, they are reused from the Gunslinger Spawn figure. But yes, he has guns. And I think that's why they said not a toy, and it's exclusive to the McFarlane store.
They convinced. They told DC this is not a toy. It's a statue. Don't worry, it's not a toy.
Yeah,
guns with it.
It's funny because he has to ride the horse. He does have thigh swivels, which most DC Multiverse figures don't have.
Yeah, the only figures that are meant to ride a vehicle have thigh swivels, like the Dark Knight Returns Batman with his weird horse and everything.
Same horse mold for all of them.
Yep.
They've been using this horse everywhere.
Yeah, but he looks fantastic. The cloth goods cape, the cloth goods like trench coat, the face sculpt. And
this horse has been Roach. It's been Gunslinger's horse. It's been Batman's horse. It's been this horse. It's been around. I will say I'm probably not going to buy this just because Hasbro's flooding me right now. And I don't have $70.
I know that's actually I love collecting my foreign stuff, but oh man, there's too many Marvel stuff to get. But he looks fantastic.
Looks great.
I mean, the fact that he finally found a way to, maybe he should have called Sergeant Rock not a toy.
Yeah, Sergeant Rock should have not been a toy as well.
Include the guns.
Next up, McFarlane Toys launched their first crowdfunding project. So, okay, how do I be nice about this?
So
why is this a crowdfunding project? It's 2 superpowers vehicles and 4 superpowers figures that are repaints of figures and molds that exist. The vehicles are new, but the figures aren't. And it's this really complicated thing where you can just buy individual components of it. You don't have to buy like a whole bundle, which is kind of neat. So it has like a dollar tier thing. And of course, there's a signed thing by Todd because there always is. And you can bid these tiers. And they need $600,000 in the next 16 days to make this happen. What happened to Walmart?
Did the vehicles did not do that well? I feel like that's the case.
I saw the Batwing on clearance at my Walmart, but I thought that was regional because like nobody cares about vintage toys here.
Yeah, I know Superpower Shelf Warm. Like the only way you can find newer figures is online at this point.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of curious the fact that. I would guess that no retailer thought. Every retailer said no Black Manta, Sea Saucer, no Bat Multicraft, and they just said no.
But which is weird because, like, you know, the
my guess is they had these made, and then they were trying to sell it to somebody, and they're like,
$600,000.
They need $600,000. Yeah.
Like I'm assuming the timeline. I would say the timeline is they were able to get like the Bug and the Brainiac vehicles out in
Yeah.
stores, but once they, these were the next in line, but when they proposed to release these next, the store said no.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
my
surprised
only
like
guess.
Big Bad Toy Store didn't pick them up or something.
Because I feel like Superpowers at this point should just be like an online only
Yeah.
line, because I feel like that's the only collector mark. Like, no kids would pick these up. Why would they pick up these when they can just pick up the Spin Master?
And like
toys?
adding to this just I try not to judge like crowdfunding things, guy who backed Robbie Reyes, but this doesn't feel worth a crowdfund because these just feel like retail products.
Here the thing, with Robbie, there was nothing to compare it from Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't really a car. Like, this was before the van. This was before the vamp. Or I think even I remember I did the Engines of Vengeance.
It was before the Hiss.
Haslab. Oh no, it was before
after
like
the
when
Hiss.
McFarlane.
Yeah, but it was before McFarlane. Yeah, it's before McFarlane did Batmobiles. Yeah.
Batmobiles, yeah. So there was really kind of no comparison of a 6-inch vehicle toy. Now we do, and now we question why I can't just do Robbie's car in retail. But this, we know what the other superpower vehicles are because these are just more of them. So
and
it's just
they
weird.
cost the same too. It's $20.
Yeah.
I mean, $35 for a vehicle and 2 figures is actually a deal.
Yeah, so like
They're actually selling these at a lower cost than the retail would.
Yeah, we have a comparison because these are just more superpower vehicle. So like, the price is a bit weird because
what it feels to me, this should have been like a made-to-order thing, not a crowd.
Yeah, or just put on my foreign toy store.
Yeah,
I mean, if Jonah Hex and Zaz could be.
I mean, they put a 7-inch scale Batwing on the McFarlane Toy Store. How can these not just go on the McFarlane Toy Store?
Unless the Superpowers line it's just doing that bad, but like, I thought it was doing all right in those for a retro line.
It's very confusing. This is a very confusing thing. I'm not backing it, clearly. You can tell by how disinterested I am, but
it's also weird because remember the Spawn figure that was Kickstarter, not like crowdfund.
Yeah.
Like that was a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
That was a Kickstarter, and that was after all. But that was before McFarlane Toys had their own store. That's before any of this big McFarlane resurgence happened.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird that this is their first crowd. You think it'd be a spawning or like a big DC item.
Or so that medieval spawn that Todd's been teasing for 3.5 years.
Yeah. So it's weird that this is the first one they're doing. It really kind of feels like last minute kind of scenario. Yeah. It really feels like.
Well, best of luck to the 1,296. See, that's the thing. They've had 1,296 backers, and they're only 20% of the way there because I think most people are just buying the 2 vehicles, so they're only putting in $45.
Yeah, no, like I think the goal's too high because they're kind of expensive items.
Like the most expensive thing here is $100 for the 2 vehicles, the 4 figures, and a Todd signature. That the most you can put into this is $100. It's gonna take that takes like 6,000 people to back this at 100. Let alone all the cheaper tiers.
This is also a niche of a niche. Scenario.
Like this seems like it's gonna fail. I will keep an eye on it, but
yeah, because it's toy collecting, which is a niche, but it's also retro toy revival, which is a niche.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really hard to
check in on this just because I'm curious to see how this will go, but it's time to move on. We're just spinning our tires at this point, right? All right. Yeah. Super 7 has announced several figures that will be available for pre-order directly at the show floor at Comic-Con, and that will be before they are available to pre-order from people later. Does that sound weird? Because it is. I don't really know what's up with that. But basically, if you order these at the Super 7 booth at Comic-Con, you get free shipping. And they're all variants. You guys ready? Here we go. We have a glow-in-the-dark Lord Zed. We have a Lion-O with light-up eyes who's on a new, more cartoon-accurate sculpt that I hope gets released in a version without light-up eyes because that seems inevitable at this point. I would totally buy a Lion-O V2.
They will.
Original one is falling apart.
They will. What do you mean by what do you mean?
His right arm doesn't hold up anymore. His joint got too loose. It's off the old. It's on the old factory.
So. The old Mattel body.
Yeah.
And such. No, I think this will definitely get reviewed. I think the Lion's old enough. And plus those older ways are weird because they're still technically Mattel figures, technically. Yep. So I feel like, honestly, I think this is a good move. Because I feel like, who were Mattel was Lionel, Tigra, and was it?
Most of the first 2 waves was Mattel. I don't want
Yeah,
to
so
get into it right now, but yeah, go watch my videos on the Thundercats line. I went into depth.
Yeah, like I feel like they do need to redo them because I think
we
they
need a
do
new
kind
Myra
of.
because she's just wrong.
Yeah, because I feel like the Mattel, the Mattel style versus the Super 7 style are 2 different.
Yeah.
Where they look essentially because aren't the Thundercats still built off the
He-Man bodies.
Motu Buck, right? Yeah.
But Super 7 bodies are different. Yeah, I like the way this Lionel looks, and I hope I can get a regular eyes version. Because, I mean, they would... If they included a regular eyes head here, I'd just buy this, but I'm like, I'll just wait, because they'll be regular eyes later.
That light up, light up thing up there looks like a meme. Looks like the delete.
That's from the old LJN packaging, because the LJN toy had light up eyes. So... there also is a light up eyes Mumra as well, which is neat. I don't feel like I need to upgrade Mumra though,
because he looks the same practically, right?
Practically. Kaus, do you have any thoughts on these?
They look cool. I'm like you though. I just would want a no light version.
Yeah. There also is Ghost of Groon, who I think looks a little too transparent, and that may just be the lighting.
Yeah, CG translucent figures are really hard to do.
Renders for.
Renders for,
I'm thinking of Pyron from the Darkstalkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like part of his body's missing.
Is this based off anything from original series?
Yes. Groon. When we saw Groon in the original series, he was a ghost. He was killed many years ago. Jaga killed him. He was trapped in this little like tablet thing. So we didn't actually see a solid body at first. He was a ghost, and then later on he was a ghost, and then there was flashbacks where he was a solid body. It's kind of the same thing that Jaga went through. He was a Force ghost a lot of times.
It was
angry Force ghost inside a circle.
Is this a if you can, will you get it scenario?
Probably.
If you have money,
I would probably, if I can and I have money and it's available to me, I'll probably get it because there was. I think he was a ghost more than he was a solid form, like Jaga.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is
It's not like Invisible Tigra or Glow in the Dark Chitara, where it's just temporary states of being. Like this guy was mostly a ghost, so. Plus, then I can keep the solid one as the flashback one, the way I do Jaga. So. All right, moving on. This is, what are they calling this one? Jungle Trap Zartan, where he's wearing his clan robe. I don't have any other way of describing it. I'm sorry.
That's kind of yeah. It's just red.
I do want to comment, man, because I watched the G.I. Joe movies. Man, the way how they did Zartan, right? Like they did, like the way how it resolved and retaliations was great. But man, the fact that they just turned Zartan, who's just really good at like disguising himself into like weird mutant nanomorph stuff, was weird.
It was so weird.
In that movie.
What's also weird is, hold on, what's the name on this one? Cobra Mortal, which looks like Snake Eyes and Cobra colors. I didn't research this. Anybody know what this is? Because
Bizarro.
They say Cobra Mortal and it says El Enigmio. And then,
if it was,
it's kind of Spanish.
Like
I have a feel like he's a Mexican bootleg Snake Eyes, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was a red Pepsi Man for a second.
Red Pepsi Man, Coke Man. Yeah. He's Coke Man.
His rival.
It reminds me of how they made El Asotillo, the Riddler from the Mexican bootleg superpowers line, known as Super Amigos.
Super Amigos.
Mattel made it. It's up on my wall. You can see it in the collection tour. But they made a Super Amigos Riddler, and it's a Green Lantern painted to look like Riddler. And they made it in Mattel's line as a reference to a Mexican bootleg. That's what this feels like.
Wherever I think of Mexican bootlegs, all I can think is the Dragon Ball Mexican bootleg figure line back in the day of all the Dragon Ball AF figures.
Oh, you mean how we dealt with not having anything after GT?
Yeah, that's all I can think of when I hear Mexican bootlegs nowadays.
See you later, Mr. Tanuki. Let's get to the Transformers. We need to get on this. I want to get to this DC thing. We got to get some Hasbro stuff out of the way first, though. This is what we call following up from last week. So last week, Will says he was a cheap repaint of Snake Eyes to reuse the mold for a Cobra guy in a very G.I. Joe release window. Oh, okay. So he was a cheap repaint. Woo! All right. Studio Series Commander Class Optimus Prime last week leaked, if you guys remember, from Amazon.
And then he got officially released. Like I thought it would just be announced for Comic. No, it's just like
he just went up for pre-order. I think
And
they just
Twitter
threw their hands up and said, "Put them up for pre-order." Who cares at this point?
I'm surprised he didn't do. I'm surprised they didn't do like a video at the very least. But yeah, I feel like that. I feel like it's one of those cases where he was meant to be the comic book revealed, then he got leaked, and then the marketing team's like, well, screw it.
They just threw their hands
pre-order.
up and they're like, "Put it up." Because it went up on Amazon. We thought Amazon leaked it, and then it went up on Big Bad, and we're like, "Oh, never mind." It went up on Prime Day of all things. So now we can get a better look at the figure. He does have an opening chest cavity with a matrix, that same damn matrix that they made for Hot Rod that was scaled for Hot Rod that should have been remolded for Magnus and Prime if you wanted to be show accurate, but they decided we're going to reuse it, so guess what? It's the same tiny matrix, but whatever.
All
he does
of
the
that you
jumping
just
pose.
said was just like white noise. And I replaced that with the scene from the movie where Rodimus says, "Open, damn it!" That's all I had in my head.
Yeah, that's Magnus. Yeah, open, damn it, open.
Yeah. So we got some more pictures here, as you guys can see. I'm just flipping through.
I don't remember.
Still no piano. I'm sorry, everyone.
Still no piano. We did get a picture of the box. The box is amazing.
Beautiful.
Anybody want to give me their box? I'm not going to buy it. Just send it to me. I just want the artwork. It's like him doing the thrust jump up and transform thing. Rad stuff. Love it. And then we got some behind the scenes things, which gives us some notes. So first of all, people were talking about proportions. So there's that. Here's some design specs of how everything fits inside. I thought this was cool, the schematic of like how they figured out to fit all the weapons and a deluxe skids inside the trailer. That was cool. Grayscale versus Grayscale. This is the interesting part. He is bigger than Earthrise Prime. And I know this is going to sound weird. He's too big for me. I don't want him. I liked Earthrise Prime's size better.
There you go. How big is too big right there?
Yep, right there. I like the way Earthrise Prime scales. I'm good. Also, next to G1 Prime's funny, too, because that's not the deluxe G1 Prime that they're putting out.
Missing Link.
Or Missing Link. It's just straight up the original. Here's a shot of him punching stupid-ass Siege Megatron, because he does have butterflies, so he can do the...
God, that is the conversation I saw before. Like, how, like... a lot of you are just going like, man, I really wish Megatron was not a gun in G1 because the whole debacle.
It has screwed us over, I gotta tell you. Here he is opening his chest up. That'll look great on the corpse version when they make it. Benjamin Wiseman, that's exactly how I feel. He said, yeah, if you have the Earthrise, this isn't really much of an upgrade, if at all. Yeah, if you don't have the Earthrise, I think this is a great thing. I think there's a lot of neat tricks, but it's just not wowing.
It's a good figure. No, that's the thing. It's a good figure, but it's hard to be excited if you already have a Earthrise Optimus, unless you don't like the Earthrise mold. But I really like the Earthrise mold.
I love the Earthrise mold. I also have MP10 Optimus Prime as well. Like, I'm good, guys.
The only for me,
the trailer's really big though. I like the trailer here.
I think for me, if the only way I will get this if they make Nemesis or Nemesis repaint or Shadow Glass.
I want Dead Prime. I'd buy Dead Prime.
Yeah. I mean, it's movie accurate.
A couple cool things. The bottom wheels on the trailer will hold the blast effects. That's solid.
So it's like Rodimus' trailer.
Yep, you can fit one deluxe car robot inside. They put Trailbreaker in there. It's one of the larger ones. So that's a good example. And Titan Masters can sit in roller seats, which is cute.
If they aren't disintegrated at this point, because have you seen the videos of the Squeeze play? Where
yes.
I think the Time Master port is like on his last legs at this point.
It really is. Here's a shot of him with Rodimus Prime, where again I think he's too big, because I think he should be about the same size as Rodimus. That's how I remember Headmasters. Here's a shot of him with some of the other 86. And it does show, if you have the severed Optimus head from Comic Shockwave, like I do, you can fit it on the Studio Series. We knew it could fit on the Earthrise, but it fitted on the Studio Series, but notice it is very tiny, because it is a different scale. So,
you know what?
Another point to Earthrise. It can fit the severed head.
You know what Optimus head sculpt I want the most? I want Action Master Optimus's head.
Oh, that'd be rad. I'd love just like a super articulated Optimus figure, and it's just like, it's Action Master Prime.
Especially like how the commercials animate him, where he just looks super Obari robot, design in those commercials. With those big bunny antenna.
It could double as like called the primitive style Obari style Optimus, even though it wasn't
Optimus. Yeah, I want that. I want that figure so much.
Let's see. We're doing this. I was just checking the news. I was like, "What? How much do we got left?" And I was like, "Oh right, all this Bandai stuff." Okay. Next up, Walmart Collector Con's coming up. R.I.P. everybody.
There's only 2 things I want, but they're gotta be expensive and also nightmare to get, I imagine. Thanks,
So,
Hasbro.
This 2-pack here is Night Force Falcon, who actually has a nice looking face this time and not the horrifying bloated mess.
Yeah.
And Quarrel, who's one of the more obscure characters.
She's
G.I.
from
Joe.
Action. Isn't she from Action Force or like
Yes.
the UK brand or something like that?
She's from Action Force, the UK brand, and she was brought over to G.I. Joe during the 25th anniversary line. This is pretty much her default look. She's another Scarlet repaint. So I definitely am getting this 2-pack because, oh my god, that Falcon head sculpt is so much better. And also, yay, new character.
As someone who needs a Falcon, this is perfect. I like this look better. Like, because I like this look better.
I like the whole figure better than the previous Falcon, for sure. And I like Night Force, so I'm in for this. For those keeping score at home, Walmart Collector Con starts the first day of Comic-Con because they hate everybody. Can you imagine being at San Diego Comic-Con and you have to like stop and go order things on Walmart? Guess what? It is going to be on Thursday. This is the wrong graphic for this. This is the preview graphic. Okay. Go back. It is going to be on Thursday, the 25th, right?
The 28th.
28th. No,
no, wait, hold on. Let me. Yeah, no,
25th. Yeah, and I know that because literally my birthday is Friday.
I misread some tweets.
It's okay. I'm losing track of time too. I'm like,
birthday is Friday. That's why I remember.
Yeah.
Say everyone in chat, say happy birthday, Kels.
Say happy birthday, Kels. Yeah, because you won't get the chance to before his birthday now, because his birthday's Friday.
And come to the stream. Right? And come to the stream tomorrow. Say happy birthday again. There.
Yes.
Especially with all the Evo stuff we're gonna be talking tomorrow.
Okay, I'm not gonna switch to the tab because Walmart's got like my information all over. Walmart Collector Con is on Thursday the 25th at 7 a.m. Pacific. So if you're at Comic-Con, you can at least you can order before the show floor opens, but like still
say goodbye to your wallet.
Yeah, exactly. What will be going up for pre-order will be pretty much all the Walmart exclusives that we have been sort of accustomed to.
Like the Venom, the Xavier.
I have a list. Hold on. I have a list, guys. It's gonna be great.
God, I'm just like I need to wake up early in the morning so I can get the Falcon and Venom.
I gotta get Falcon, Venom, and Xavier. So it's gonna be the Falcon and Quarrel 2-pack, Venom, Professor X Warlord, Master Universe Origins Necroconda, and Horde Trooper Prime, Turtles of Grayskull Leatherhead, Turtles of Grayskull Splinter. No, wait. Turtles of Grayskull Leatherhead, and... yeah, it is Leatherhead. It's just Leatherhead. Street Sharks, Blink Samu, Dr. Paranoid, and Streetix. Those are not exclusive to Walmart. They're just getting them first. The DC Multiverse Vampire Shazam, the Mandalorian Shriek-Hawk 2-pack, the Holocom series, May for Black Series, Transformers Road Pig, and Thundertron, and then Universal Monster Super Cyborg Creature from Black Lagoon, and TMNT Archery Crying Hound Deluxe, which is a wrestler guy to go with the wrestling story arc. A lot of stuff's going up, so good luck, everybody. I'm going for 3 things. I hope I succeed. Also, as a reminder, if you're Hasbro Pulse Premium, you can probably get the Falcon pack from Hasbro Pulse, because they typically put up the G.I. Joe exclusives. So, options. That's an early day for me. It'll suck, but I'm getting my toys. I don't care at this point. Life's too short. Get your damn toys. Put that on a t-shirt and I'd wear it every stream. Actually, that's a good merch idea. Life's too short. Buy your damn toys.
If you're not doing it, I'll put it on Etsy or Redbubble or something.
We gotta do that. We gotta do that. I that's the energy I'm going into the rest of the year with. All right. Next up, SH Figuarts. Spider-Man India has his first action figure ever, and it took like an entire year to the point where I'm convinced he was added to Spider-Verse last minute.
And thank God,
I forgot he existed until I saw the figure. I was like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Try see.
Everybody's made toys of every other spider except for him.
Thank God. Because even Spider-Bite, even though it's based on concept art, got like pops and such like that.
Yeah.
I also thank God because I don't like the comic, like the old comic design. So I'm glad our first figures is the much better design. First in Spider-Man India. He looks fantastic. Like
he looks
really
great.
Fantastic.
He is P Bandai in Japan, but just like Miguel, he will be retail in the US.
I'm tempted, honestly, because I love this character so much.
I might grab them because I don't know if Hasbro's going to make one. It's been too long, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts, Cass?
No, I think it looks cool. Like I said, I forgot it existed, but seeing this, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
What is he, like 60 or
Probably
more?
like 60, 70, I think. Probably 70.
It's 9,900 yen.
But
Oh,
yeah, we'll
boy,
see how the
90.
actual conversion works out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
In case your heart is broken and you need it repaired, the SH Figuarts medical machine is here. It's not going to fix your heart, but it will fix up Goku on Namek. It does not include Goku, by the way.
But he does come apart. It does come apart. It's like his dirt face while in the pod.
You get two faces, and the actual window lights up, so it can have a bubbly effect.
But I like it. It looks cool, actually.
And you also get Derp Goku face, which is great.
I love that face.
It's one of those things where it's like, that's cool, but I'm not getting that.
Remember that Vegeta they just announced? Yeah, it just existed so that way you could have him judging Goku from outside the chamber.
Did we get Saiyan Armor Gohan and Krillin yet?
Yes.
All right, so that is cool. I think the only character left are what? Nail and Guru and Dende, I think.
I think so. Oh no, they made Dende. He was with Purunga.
Then for Purunga, yeah, I think it's just Nail and Guru left of the Namek saga.
The funniest part is, I think this chamber would have been completely forgotten to me over time if it wasn't for the Irwin Toys commercial for the chamber that played all the damn time.
Yep.
Irwin Toys loved that thing they made. They're like, look what we made. Isn't it great? Didn't theirs actually have water in it?
Something like that, yeah. I remember when it comes to Irwin and their commercial, I just think of the peel off machine the Andrew
Yeah.
Team Dragon Ball Z.
Team Dragon Ball
Z. Go on in danger. But King Dragon Ball Z are here to save the day.
All right. In case you don't have an Ultraman G figure art somehow, because they've released them a bunch of times, there is a New Generation Stars version, not to be confused with the New Generation version. Yay.
Just a simple release?
Simple release. Ultraman Zero's coming out again. He does have a different accessory loadout. He doesn't come with the Zero Sluggers, but now he has a beam effect. Progress?
That's nice.
And then Bakugo is the next My Hero Academia figure art, which is not a shock.
Not surprised. Yeah, not surprised.
But, I mean, look at him. He's Bakugo. I don't even watch My Hero, and I know who he is. You guys ready for Bandai Flash Round?
Yep.
All right, you guys ready?
All right, get your snacks, people.
We're gonna be talking snacks in a moment. This segment also brought to you by Spend-54. All right, first up, officially speaking, Psycho. I'm not sure if his beam effect is new or if it came with one of his part sets. There's been too many zeros, and I didn't feel like researching it. If you are getting the Chalice Rouser and the Joker Rouser, there is going to be a part set that will attach to the Chalice Rouser. It does not come with a belt. It's just parts and some cards, and you can do the Joker Undead belts. Rad. Moving on. To follow up the 7 Slugger, you can get the 0 Sluggers, so you can chop things up twice as fast.
Yeah, but it's more special effectsy and not murdery.
That's true. And then the solution to how do we do Ultraman Leo's transformation ring has been provided to us. The ring is just a prop, but the sound effects will be included with Leo's chest symbol.
It's very similar to what they did with Taro, where the sound just comes from a separate box. Yeah, it just comes from a separate box, pretty much. Yep,
so that's happening. We're getting, I think we just need like Jonius and... Oh, Hellfire says he thinks the ring has a sensor. That would make sense.
Did they do Jack's weird bracelet thing? That some people call his entrance of...
They did an old one of Jack's bracelet, but they need to do a new one.
Yeah, I mean, all you need to do is jump in the air.
Also, could they not find a better picture of Leo where it didn't look like he's melting?
I mean, that one. I mean, Super Raya during the era was kind of dying. So.
I know he couldn't get like an episode 1 picture when it was fresh.
What isn't being Leo suffering? They're just keeping on.
That's true.
Yeah, that's just Leo.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
His whole Mavis episode was him telling Mavis, like, you have friends, enjoy them. I didn't.
Exactly. All right, we have a bunch of Combinator Gov toys. Let's go.
They're surprisingly a lot more toyetic than I thought they would be in terms of like they feel like its own toy line. Really enough.
first up, we have the Gavga blade and the Gochi speeder, which is basically like the little like snack gets to go on a little bike, and then you put the little bike on the sword, and then he goes wee.
Yeah, it feels. It's kind of. I kind of like. I like it's like
cute.
two toys in one. Like it's like
It
your
does.
role play toy, but it's also like a toy for the little Gavu things. It's really cute. I like it.
Yeah. The thing is, it is also the kicking gummy. So if you want the kick sound in the belt, you need kicking gummy from here. Popping, or is it? Was it? Yeah, it's popping gummy comes with the belt. Punching gummy comes with the little card pack, and then kicking gummy comes with the sword. This is probably the lamest toy. This is the what is this called? The Gochizo holder, which comes with the Vrocon, which is the lollipop one. And
So is this your gimmick holder?
This is your gimmick holder, but it only holds one gimmick. It does have this
So what's
cute
the
gimmick
point?
of like it's a little exosuit sort of thing, but it only
Well,
holds one gimmick item.
It really just make it like feel like two separate like. It's a role play toy, and I kind of like that. Like, it feels like it gives this toy line a bit more extra. Like, it's one of those like once you're done with collecting a line, at least it's a separate. Like, you can
Yeah.
just play with them after the show is done. They're toys, so
I will say this costing nearly $30 is kind of ridiculous, though.
I know, right?
That's the price. All right, then there's going to be Gochizo sets. So these will include 2 show use ones and then 1 Legend Rider. So this is going to be Zaku, Fuwa Malan, and then Gotchard. That'll be set 1.
I thought that was SpongeBob for a split second.
Could have been.
The yellow and the blue eyes.
What's fun too is these are packed like snack foods, so they're in a little like a connected baggy thing, which is kind of neat. I like that. Set 2 will include Gurukan, Maru Malo, and Geets. The Geets one's a little cursed, not gonna lie. These are also kind of cute. These are variants for different things too.
Fox. Yum. Fox flavor.
And just in case you can't get enough, there will be blind bags. And the blind bags will have a normal version and then an expressive version. So like Popping Gummy is crying, and Fuwa Melon's angry, and Zaku's going to eat me, and Hiri is a little scared. But these are blind bags.
Yeah, these are just blind bags because they already. I guess because they're doing blind bags, and what's the point doing Gashapon and Candy Toy? Because that was kind of their thing. Well, it's such a Gashapon. Candy Toys are sold separately.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They did that. I guess they were just following off Gotchard. They're like, I guess the blind stuff sold, but that's because they're trading cards. Anyways, and then there's 4 more here, and we can see the chocolate one has. Also,
it's kind of weird because I feel like the blind bag craze is like went and gone. Like that was like a mid 2010 thing.
All right, so the chocolate gun, it comes with the chocolate snack. The chocolate gum's made of foam.
So you know what these remind me of?
Yes.
Do you ever went to a Lego store? And do you notice they have like foam weapons of like Ninjago and stuff like that? That's what
the foam Minecraft weapons that were all over Toys R Us.
Yeah, that's all I can think of is that's what they remind me of and such.
The trigger looks plastic. It has electronics because we can see the box here, but the toy itself is foam. Same goes for the Zaku Chips sword. That is also foam.
My imagine is it's less like it's all foam, but there's like a plastic skeleton and it has like foam padding covering it. That's
which means kids can now hit each other with them and not die. So positive.
All right.
So
once again, the prices do seem high, but the Japanese
Bandai does not want to be on the most dangerous toy list again.
Couch, you got any thoughts on the foam?
Yeah. So less lawsuits.
Less lawsuits. And then lastly, we have the Kamen Rider action figure of Gav, which is not some gimmick thing. It's just called Kamen Rider action figure, so maybe we'll see more of these. He's got all it's like welcome back Rider Kicks figures, basically.
I was say, because I forget, with the Shokaku Henshin figures for Gacha, they scaled them back up again, from what I understand? Because Rider Kicks you scaled them down, but now they scaled them down, now they're back up, and I don't know if it's the same scale or not.
We'll have to wait and see, because I don't think there's details yet.
I mean, because that's the most annoying thing about...
But he is pretty articulated.
Because that was the most annoying thing about, because Rider Kicks was meant to be a reboot, and, they did a bunch of Legend Riders, they made, a full action figure line, then Gacha decided to scale them up again, so that was annoying.
Psycho O says it's the same scale as Geets, so it's back down to what it was then.
Okay, that's nice. So Gacha's just a giant then.
And then lastly, and I kind of hate this one, are okay. So this is a box to dispense the toys, like the snacks, except it's cardboard.
Yeah, because I know this is a thing in Japan. Like you ever look at a Japanese snack store?
Yeah,
They have these kind of things, but like, how much is it gonna cost?
I think it's like 4,000 yen.
Ugh.
I remember Darkon told me when he saw this, he was like, "Welcome back, Nintendo Labo."
Damn it! I was gonna say that.
Oh, the Labo.
Yeah. At least they're not trying to hide that it's cardboard. Like, they're just straight up like, you get to put this together. It's gonna be fun. That is our GOV update. All right. Next up, in case you didn't like your premium Bandai exclusive Bujin sword buckle, you can now get the premium DX Memorial Bujin sword buckle that looks basically identical, but now it has voice lines, music, and that.
I think I saw Actar said the best on Twitter, where it's like, this feels like a slap in the face that people who bought their show.
I think this would have been fine if like how with Boost Mark 9, the original Bujin sword was retail.
Yeah.
But because the Bujin sword buckle was already P Bandai, and now we're doing a P Bandai on top of P Bandai, and then they did it also again with the fantasy buckle at the exact same time. Yeah, it's got voice lines and stuff, but you know what's missing is that, as Spindash points out here in his wonderful tweets, there are no ID cores included. Now that's not a problem because there's ways to get Nago ID cores in like the Sound ID cores line and stuff. But if you want to get Time Father here, you can't get his core unless you have the original Premium Bandai Deluxe Fantasy Buckle.
So what's the point?
So what is the point of this? Because you literally have to already have the toy to be complete with Galgo's ID core. So, because the other Premium DX, yes, Fico says the other Premium DX stuff doesn't come with ID cores. That would be fine if Galgo's ID core wasn't exclusive to the previous buckle. Like, you need to include it. It's kind of like the same issue of It also has the same issue of Spider Kumonos' Kumino Slayer. Like, you need the Venom shooter to really use all the features, and with not making it, it kind of feels like, well, what's the point of this, right? It's one of those things. Oh, Psychos, yes. Psychos was the one that coined Time Father, because he was Time Fire, but then he was playing her father, so Time Father.
Yeah. Time Father!
All right, it's time for Depression, the DC animated movie tier list. We are going to rank. I promise we do this. I just want to do this before Comic-Con because I need to get my crisis thoughts out of my head. Welcome, Spider-Verse Prime.
About Depression, don't worry about that. That's my secret sound out. I'm always depressed.
Exactly. DC animated movies are having a hell of a history.
Is it time for Sal to turn to bully sound outs? Does he get his symbiote arc ready?
Yeah, get my symbiote arc ready, because legitimately speaking, we're going to start... I'm just going to warn you guys. We're going to start great, and then it's just going to get, like, really, like, inflammatory by the end of this, okay? Ace said, fast with the Phantasm S tier, we can go home.
Yeah, let's go. Let's start. Phantasm S.
We're going to start, for everyone to have context, this is every animated DC movie, whether it's theatrical or direct-to-video, regardless of what universe it's connected to.
Except Lego.
Except Lego. I left all the Lego out, so this wouldn't be 150 tiles. It's 98. I combined anything that's a multi-parter into one ranking, because they are one movie. I left Death and Return of Superman separate, because those are separate movies in my eyes. And I think we're just going to go. We're not going to go super deep on this one because there's just too many. I will make this a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. All right. Batman Mask of the Phantasm, one of the best Batman movies ever made. S tier. Any arguments?
Yeah. No, not at all.
No.
I like Sub-Zero a whole lot, but I can't rank it higher than a B because it's wonky CG. Just kind of drags it visually down.
Yep.
That was one of those early CG integrations.
But you're right.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I like it story-wise. It's just visually, it's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, S tier. It's probably my favorite movie from Batman, to be honest.
Okay, I was wondering, was there two? Oh, it's the same as the animated shows.
I was going to say, with Return of the Joker, I'm just talking about the unrated cut. I would also rank the original edited cut here too. That movie is just good.
Question: which by spoilers for everything here, by the way.
By the way, full spoilers. I can't hold back spoilers on stuff, and these movies have been out for like 20 years.
For
So.
old
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
So which death do you like more, the shot or the electrocuted? Because honestly, they're both. I think both work honestly really good.
I like the shot more, and I
Yeah.
think the electrocution is actually more horrifying. But I like the rawness of the shot. Joker getting shot by his own creation, I think, is just so poignant and so perfect. And I love it because it doesn't. It makes the question of how is Joker back stronger, because the electrocution thing could be like, oh, well, they found him later, kind of thing, and that's how he's back.
Wait, stand up. Where's Justice League the movie and Batman Beyond the movie?
I did not include any compilation movies. Mystery of the Batwoman, I'm putting it in A, and no one can fight me. I really like that movie.
I like that movie.
It's not amazing, but like I've watched the hell out of it, and it had that really cool Catwoman short included with the DVD. And
I love Bane in that movie.
Bane that's my favorite DCAU Bane is the one in that movie. I like Mr. Batwoman. Batman,
Raw. Batman
versus Dracula. S tier. That's probably the coolest thing that's come. In a series that was dripping with style and sauce, this movie is all of that. Plus, it is the first animated movie aimed at kids, direct-to-video, I've seen to have a bloodbath scene.
Yep. Yep.
Joker attacks a blood bank, and the blood just starts spilling everywhere.
Is that in between seasons? Like season 1 or 2?
It's in between seasons 2 and 3, because Yen isn't in it, but Batgirl hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, figured. Brainiac attacks.
F. Erased in Crisis.
Is
that a good thing I don't remember that one?
It's a good thing you don't remember that one.
There's some alright
It looks
moments,
like Superman the Animated Series, but it's not.
It's not DCU canon.
They only made it to tie into Superman Returns, and then they delayed it because Superman Returns flopped.
The only scene that's I think is really good is the Mom Pa Kent scene with Clark, but that's it because Lex is. I don't know what happened to Lex's movie.
I can erase that in Crisis, no problem. I can lose that Mom Pa Kent scene to get rid of the whole damn movie. Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo, B.
I like that movie. It's a fun movie.
I like it a lot, but I also feel like it was sort of. I take that as the finale to the show, basically, right?
Yeah, I think it's a better, satisfying ending. I defend the finale of the show, but I think that's a better, satisfying ending for people.
Superman Doomsday starts the direct-to-video movie line that was sort of targeting the older audiences.
I never know how to feel about Doomsday because I think there's parts I like, and other parts I feel. Yeah, I think
prior to the Death of Superman movie coming out, I really did like this movie, but the Death of Superman movie, which we'll talk about later, I really liked.
Also, the Lex scenes are weird.
They're very creepy.
I remember that. Yeah.
Also, man, as a kid, I was really confused as a kid, I was really confused because I thought that was part of the DCAU because it had similar art character designs, but the voices did not match up. That really confused me as a kid when it aired on Cartoon Network.
I don't know how they aired it on Cartoon Network. Still to this day, I'm like, there was a
lot
of stuff in that movie. I think they had to make some cuts, right?
They did because I have the DVD, and it's definitely not the same.
I think it aired before Toonami started. I think that was the excuse. It was the in between.
They did make some cuts though, because the blood was not as heavy as it was in the final.
I don't remember the Luther scene was censored or not when it aired on Cartoon Network.
Moving on, Dr. Grid. I think the Teen Titans movie came out after the show.
I think it was either after or during.
It was during the last season, if it was.
Yeah, during the last season at the very least.
Watchmen Tales of the Black Freighter is all the Tales of the Black Freighter part of the Watchmen comic that helped foreshadow and set up the context of things that happened. They animated it to include it in the live-action movie, but did not include it because it was going to make the runtime 4 hours long. They later added it back into the live-action Watchmen movie as part of the Ultimate Cut. But in the meantime, they released it as a standalone animated movie, and on its own, it's still pretty good. I'm going to put that one in B.
I've never heard of this. Thinking I don't go back to Snyder's Watchmen at
Watchmen
all.
One?
Watchmen Tales of the Black Freighter. It is... In the Watchmen story, there's a kid at the comic stand reading a comic book.
That's right. Yes, he's reading a pirate comic.
He's reading a pirate comic, and the whole twist of Ozymandias is spoiled in the pirate comic.
Yep.
And if you're paying attention while reading the Watchmen comic, you're not surprised by Ozymandias at the end. What Zack Snyder's vision for this was that he was going to include it as animated segments in the live-action movie where it takes place. But because they had to cut the movie down, they excised it and made it its own standalone movie, and it's pretty solid. And the Watchmen Ultimate Cut, I think, is the best version of that movie because they include Tales of the Black Freighter intersliced all the way through the movie.
Does it make the film better?
It makes the film better. It's still not like it still has nothing to the original comic, and it's still hard to adapt Watchmen outside of comics. But that is the best version of the movie. Is the Ultimate Cut. It's very long, but it's worth it. So, Justice League New Frontier, A.
I like this movie a lot. I love it. I'm a sucker for Darwin Cook.
I went to that movie randomly one day, and I was like, "This is really good."
I love Wonder Woman in that movie so much.
I'm a sucker for Darwin Cook's work, so I'm really I really like that film a lot.
5 anime studios make an interlude between Batman Begins and Dark Knight, and Batman Gotham Knight is an A for me because I love that movie.
The Batman Matrix.
Batman Animatrix, yeah.
It was really cool. It was like it doesn't really have any substance, but it's cool.
It is
I think
cool.
it's really
and
cool.
It's 5 different studios and 5 different art styles in the same movie.
Wasn't Conroy voicing one of the shorts?
He was, yeah. I think he was Batman in all of them, actually. They had to tell him to make his voice sound younger because they had anime Ikemen Bruce Wayne. Wonder Woman. I love this one. An S. It's still the best Wonder Woman movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I love the stuff with her and Steve Trevor. Green Lantern First Flight, A. This was what I thought the DC movies were cooking, guys. They were just bangers.
I liked First Flight, yeah.
Next, Public Enemies?
Public Enemies up to the S tier, my baby.
I remember when it was coming out, the hype.
I was legit scared you weren't going to like that one. I was like, no, I love that one.
The hype for that movie was... I remember when it was coming out.
The scene where, like, Bruce and Clark are talking in the sewer, and Clark's just like, whatever happened to Magpie? She died. Why do all the good villains die? What the hell is a good villain, Clark? It's just like the two of them being pals and going through stuff. I love that movie so much.
Mm-hmm. Next is the not DCAU movie.
Scrolling down, yes. Justice League Crisis on 2 Earths was supposed to be a DCAU movie between Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and some of that still remains. I'm also throwing this one an S, guys.
I was a big fan of that movie more than I was, but I still liked it.
So here's the thing: do you include that in your DCAU watch? Because I do, even though it's not like DCU canon.
I include this and Justice League Doom in my DCAU watches, even though they're not.
It's intended to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, originally, so why not?
It's like I just take it as like it's universe one body slide adjacent.
Yeah, hyper time shenanigans.
Love Crisis on 2 Earths. Especially the stuff with Owlman. It's the best portrayal of Owlman.
Yeah, I know, right?
My favorite thing is Batman gaslighting the other guy.
Owlman. Yeah,
I love the scene where it's like Batman's like, the one difference between you and me is that when I stare into the abyss, I think about all the things that could be, and when you stare into the abyss, you blinked.
Also, just the scene, the movie begins this naked Ultra Universe Luthor.
Yes. Also, I love the Justice League theme they used for this movie. It's so good.
Oh yeah, they reused that was like the Justice League theme for the animated films. I remember they used that throughout these films. I love that theme.
Guys, I'm going to be on an S tier like binge, and I apologize. I don't know if this is nostalgia leak. Look, DC Showcase Spectre is also an S tier. That's like one of the coolest Spectre adaptations of all time. I watch that thing just all the time. Every Halloween I watch this.
Also, don't get used to all these S's, because when we get near the end...
Guys, I just we're front-loading. We're front-loading the S's. Batman Under the Red Hood is the best Batman movie I've ever seen.
No debate. No debate.
I just rewatched that one like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, oh, it's so good.
One of my favorite Blu-Rays.
Oh, the Jonah Hex.
Sorry, I'm gonna zoom out, guys. I apologize on stream if it's hard to see. It's just taking too long, dragging. We're just gonna zoom out. Mm-hmm. Jonah Hex, also S. Freaking Linda Hamilton is amazing in that.
Mm-hmm.
She's so good. Superman Batman Apocalypse, A. The only reason A is because I love everything about it, but I do think the destruction of the Kent farm just kind of goes a little over the top, and it's a little bit too much of a hat on a hat.
Did you like Pa Kent being Colonel Campbell, though?
I did. And I love this. The stuff with Barda is like... the reason I'm a fan of Big Barda and Mr. Miracle is because of Big Barda in that movie. Like, she made me a fan of that, and then I The Young Justice canon DCU Green Arrow or
Yeah,
DC Showcase Green Arrow also an S tier. Like
I was mentioning, wasn't this canon to Young Justice? Right?
it is. They picked up the plot line in season 1.
Oh, that's great.
Superman,
the
Shazam, Return
Superman.
of Black Adam. I'm putting it in A only because I think it runs a little long.
Oh, really? You think it's long? Huh.
It's like a half hour. It could have been 25 minutes. There's a bit of it where they're like dragging out the Black Adam's beating everybody down before they get up and fight him, and I'm like, okay, guys.
But the Shazam stuff are so strong. I love Billy in this film. He's great.
All-Star Superman, A.
Oh, really?
It's a great movie, but it does lose a little bit from the comic because of the runtime.
I do, but I would say
but
I do love some of the changes they made. I think Dwayne McDuffie made some fantastic changes. Like the Luthor stuff in the movies, fantastic stuff there.
Green Lantern Emerald Knights also going to A.
I have a lot of nostalgia for that one because for some reason, Lego Batman 2 for the Wii, at Walmart, it came in a bundle with this film for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
by the way, that's an anthology film for Green Lantern, which is the perfect way to do a Green Lantern movie. Like, here's a bunch of stories with different lanterns, and they all have they have a framework to show you why they're telling those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Batman Year One, B. I'm gonna say, well-made movie. It's like a 1-to-1 comic recreation, and I don't like those as much because they kind of are boring to me. But DC Showcase Catwoman, S. That is probably one of the most gorgeously animated pieces.
Is that the one that people like to post because of that one scene?
Yeah, the scene where Selena's in a strip club.
Yep.
It's funny, that one's never been on a DC Showcase collection.
Because I think the rating.
Because the rating.
I think that rating would boost up if they do that.
Guys, I have a comfort movie. It's called Justice League Doom. It's the one where Batman has his contingency plans leaked.
Yep, it's the one based off of Tower of Babel.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's even better. I think it's better than Tower of Babel. You know?
Think so?
I think
I agree because I don't know, Tower. I love that I have it on paperback, but Doom, I think the pacing's better. I don't know.
Yes, I think the pacing's better, and I think that this Justice League roster being Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, I think is a lot more interesting than having Plastic Man and stuff, because they had to get more inventive with how would these heroes be taken down because they didn't have the comics to work with. For example, the Martian Manhunter I think was cool. The Green Lantern one's kind of funny because Hal's just sad.
Yeah, and I think in Tower of Babel it was Kyle instead of Hal.
It was, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. That was during. Yeah, that was.
And we had Plastic Man, I think, instead of Manhunter. I liked Cyborg being this was around the time they're trying to promote Cyborg in the comics to stuff, and I like that Cyborg isn't officially part of the team, but he's just trying to help out, and he's like, and he's like the rogue element. Batman didn't have a plan for Cyborg, and that's how it all works out. Yeah.
Actually, does work a lot better than the comics.
Also, for the fact it is mostly DCAU cast plus Nathan Fillion as Hal, I think that was a smart choice.
What's Guy doing here?
Superman versus the Elite. I'm putting that in S. I'm putting that in S just for the beatdown scene at the end.
Yes. Y'all want that kind of Superman? It's
a perfect film to showcase who Superman's character is. It's just I love this movie so much.
Dark Knight Returns. I'm putting in S. I've watched that movie like a dozen times.
That's the one with RoboCop versus Brainiac, right?
Yes. I gotta tell you, the original Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns, great iconic comic. I think this movie improved it. I really do think it made it better.
It shrunk down all the political head scenes.
Yes, the talking head scenes didn't lose their impact, but they take up less of the space, right? Mm-hmm. And I also think they made some significant tone. That's what it is. They made some taste changes. It's more tasteful than
because Frank Miller's Frank Miller. Even though this was back when he was sane,
Yeah. They cleaned up some of the taste issues. I will say too, this was released as a 2-part movie, but it's so seamless as one movie. So great.
Also, I think Peter Wells is a very underrated. I think he only could work as Dark Knight Returns Bruce, but he's really good as Batman.
All right, Superman Unbound also going to S. I absolutely love this.
I need to watch it because all I know about this film is it was meant to sort of tie in with Man of Steel. So like,
and it's a Superman versus Brainiac story where Brainiac's first time on Earth, and it has one of my favorite Lois Lanes ever.
Yes.
If you ever want to see Lois Lane flip the bird to Brainiac, Superman Unbound is the movie for you. Also, Matt Bomer is a perfect Superman, and I wish he was Superman more.
I feel like if My Adventures Superman wasn't a family show, I could see that Lois doing that to Brainiac.
Yes. Superman Unbound is like
right.
the template for My Adventures of Superman in a lot of ways.
All right, Flash Paradox. It's a fine adaptation.
I'll put it in B, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not that bad when you look back at it in hindsight.
Yeah, no, it's a fine. Yeah,
Flashpoint. I just don't think of it that much.
Flashpoint is a fine story. It just kind of hate when it becomes, but as a story, it's fine. Do I say the movie's ugly? The character designs are hideous.
I know.
I will say that.
Hey, Justice League Adventures Trapped in Time.
Everybody's so roided up. This was a fun movie.
I don't know why they randomly were like, let's make the most toyetic Justice League movie ever and have Karate Kid and Dawnstar in it, and there was no toys.
No. Apparently, this film was meant to... Remember...
Oh, that Brave and the Bold line? That Brave and the Bold molds Target Justice League line? Yeah.
Apparently this film was sort of meant to tie in with those sort of, kind of.
Then why wasn't Hawkman in this movie when he was in that line? No, this movie's fun.
The key word is sort of.
I really like this one. If you guys haven't seen it, it has some really good fight choreography, too. It's much better than it needs to be, honestly.
Also, love the animation style. I like to think this is the same canon as Brave and the Bold, because not because Edric Bader's Batman, but it has that same tone as Brave and the Bold and such.
Justice League War, the first official movie of the Camus. I
hate this movie. I hate this movie a lot.
War.
That's the clip. Jerry,
scene.
You know that scene that Wheels always shares of Green Lantern's Got This?
Yeah.
That's the movie.
The characterizations are...
Okay.
I hate the characterizations. like Superman's so jerkish, Lungy's weird, Hal is stupid, Billy... I hate this version of Shazam.
The movie is too Jeff Johns. That's ultimately the problem. It's too faithful. I'll put Son of Batman in C because I thought it was good, but I think they just made Damian too much of an ass.
Yeah.
Assault on Arkham, I'll give that a B. That's a Suicide Squad movie, not a Batman movie. Just
so weird. This film was including that weird box set.
I don't know why they're like, here's a Batman anniversary box set. Let's put in Assault on Arkham, the movie that has Batman in it for 5 minutes as an antagonist.
Also, I really wish Hinton Walsh. Also, it makes me go. I really wish Hinton Walsh was the default voice of Harley instead of Tara Strong. She's just a better voice of Harley.
I agree. That's also set in the Arkhamverse too, which is crazy. That's your Suicide Squad kills the Justice League prequel film. Justice League Throne of Atlantis, also D. I don't like that movie.
I do think it's a much better improvement from War. I think it improves a lot of things from War. I would say that.
I just get bored halfway through.
Definitely. But I think the story is better. I think the characters are better. It's definitely boring, but I think it's definitely an improvement.
Moving on, Batman versus Robin. I'm also putting in C.
This was a lot better.
I'm putting Batman.
Yeah.
I can't even separate Son of Batman and Batman versus Robin in my head.
This was a weird Court of Owls adaptation. It was really weird.
Moving on, Batman Unlimited, Animal Instincts, B.
Never even heard that one.
It's all right.
It's fine. Justice League Gods and Monsters, S. Oh my god, I wish this universe picked up.
It's ironic because you put the animated stuff on like D or whatever.
Yeah, because the animated stuff is just doesn't have any consequence. This movie you can watch without those animated shorts, right? This movie has so much potential, but the movie itself tells you everything you need to know. You didn't need to see those animated shorts. That's why I ranked them so low. Because they're just inconsequential, right? This has got... Someone pointed this out on a video I was watching about DC All In. I wish Absolute Power... I wish Absolute Universe had the energy that Gods and Monsters did. Because you just have these radically different versions of these characters that ultimately end up doing the same things. That's what's so interesting. You have Kirk Langstrom as Batman. You have Barda as Wonder Woman. You have Zod as Superman. And he's like raised in South America, so welcome Latino Superman. Just so much creativity. So much creativity with that movie. That's what I just wish it got to continue, you know?
Robo was talking about, I think, Superman Unbound. I remember that part where Darkseid surprised Superman by breaking his door. The way Darkseid always crashes into people's house.
Oh, yeah, that happens in Superman Batman Apocalypse.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I just love Darkseid just always raise people.
Ace said, if Absolute Universe had this energy, I would be all in on DC. Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think Absolute Universe is just not different enough. I think, like, Gods and Monsters is just so crazy different. Like, that is how you do, like, a crazy Elseworld story.
Hey,
All right.
Monster
Mayhem. Also B. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
Batman Bad Blood. I'll give that a B.
I do not like this movie. I just think the twist. What they did to Talia in this film is
terrible
really
Talia
dumb.
adaptation.
I
but
really hate
hey,
it.
look, they finally put the Bat family in a movie.
Yeah, I just wish it was a better movie.
I wish too. Killing Joke.
Erasing Crisis.
First of all, the Batgirl prologue is one of the worst things put to media.
Oh.
I like to stand up and I already know what you're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's
yeah.
Also, the adaptation of Killing Joke is boring because it's just a panel by panel recreation.
Yeah.
Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders.
Yeah, go ahead. Things right there.
Yep. Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders. A. It's continuation of 60s Batman, and they make a joke for the fact that there's 3 Catwomans. And there's a part where, like, Adam West Batman goes dark, and he just starts saying stuff like, I'm a surgeon, and let's get nuts, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's an A.
So Adam West activated his Adam West from Family Guy moment there.
Yes.
Family Guy,
yeah. DC Superhero Girl, Superhero I, sure, C. It was a TV.
Girl, very much made for girl movie scenario.
Yes. Justice League versus Teen Titans, I'm going to give that one an A.
It's a clickbait. It's clickbait the title,
clickbait
but
title,
it's a real.
But because it's a Teen Titans movie that the Justice League are kind of in. But I like.
I like the cat. I like. Well, first, I love Starfire. I love Starfire and Nightwing's relationship. I mean, that's more of the next Titan film, but I love the relationship.
I mean, this team has Blue Beetle on it because they didn't just use the Teen Titans cartoon cast for once. Also,
I do question what's up with his hair. What's up with his hair?
Jaime was going through late 2000s, early 2010s Hispanic haircut choices of let's do a mohawk, but only make it short.
That's a haircut his mother would not approve of at all.
Exactly. Cass, do you have any thoughts on Justice League vs. Teen Titans?
No, I liked it.
I liked it too.
But I don't remember much of the plot. But yeah, it was especially seeing Jaime, like you said. But
DC Superhero Girls Hero of the Year. I watched that one. That was a long 90 minutes, I gotta tell you.
Another girl movie, pretty much.
Batman Unlimited Mechs vs. Mutants A. It's a Batman kaiju movie.
It's a Batman kaiju mech film.
Batman and Green Arrow get Jaegers and go beat up kaiju.
Funness. I love it.
Yeah, I just love that one.
It's so
sounds
fun.
like a movie I should have watched, even though I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's so much better than it should be. It's just a toy line tie-in movie. But
also Hush is in this film for some reason, of all things.
Infinite, we'll talk about Crisis. Justice League Dark. A? I thought that was pretty solid.
I didn't Justice League Dark.
Constantine was in that, right?
Yeah, Constantine, Swamp Thing, Deadman, Etrigan, Zatanna, like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love that movie.
I think Black Orchid actually made it in too, didn't she?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was I think it was a really strong movie. I love it.
Group of heroes I'd like to see again.
Yes.
And
all his misses is Detective Chimp.
Yep. Teen Titans Judas Contract. That's the best adaptation of the story.
I mean, it got rid of
it got rid of the ick. It got rid of the ick from the comic. It had more stakes than the animated series adaptation of it, and it was another. I like this Teen Titans a lot. I like this Titans team a whole lot.
Again, I love Star and Dick being like this married couple.
Yes.
Near the end, like there's a scene about like there was a scene where they're talking about maneuvers, and I think they meant it was like sex maneuvers. No, not that maneuvers, like combat maneuvers.
He was like, "Oh, we have to use that special maneuver. You can show them Starfire," and she's like, "Should we really show that in front of the children?" Yeah. DC Supergirls Intergalactic Games. I did not watch because the Hero of the Year killed me.
Judas Card does bring up a weird point of having Speedy, this previous version of the Titans of Speedy, Wally, and Bumblebee.
No, that's Barry Allen. That's Kid Flash.
Oh yeah, they retconned it. Yeah, they changed. Yeah, I didn't even know this was supposed to be Wally.
Weird stuff with that. But we're just talking about the movies on their own, right?
Welcome Wheels.
Welcome Wheels. The CW animated movie tie-in, Vixen, which was a web series that became a movie. I'm going to put that in A. Actually, Not B.
I haven't seen it because I haven't seen it because it's not.
It was
it
a cool
not
way to
part of-
introduce the character because her powers are expensive to do in live action, and I think it was nice to
Yeah.
have. Batman and Harley
Uh,
Quinn, you're only saved from oblivion for one reason. You know what's the one reason?
What?
I really like the ending, where they're like, let's just take a match to Floronic Man.
Yeah, but everything else, like,
Not a great movie.
like the tone was all over the place with this film.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it
so was the
either
Batmobile
silly.
design.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Adam West
Batman
versus
versus Two-Face. I'm putting that in S. I thought William Shatner couldn't act anymore, and then he proved me wrong.
Maybe he can voice act.
He can voice
That's
act.
the thing.
His Harvey Dent voice and his Two-Face voice are like two different people. It was incredible. Like, his Harvey Dent voice sounded like William Shatner in the 60s.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean William Shatner voiced Keldor in Revelation, in Masters Revelations?
Exactly. This movie restored my faith in William Shatner's acting ability. He sounded like 60s Shatner when he was doing Harvey Dent, and then his Two-Face voice just sounded like a completely different person. It was incredible. I love that movie. Scooby-Doo meets Batman the Brave and the Bold. That's an A.
I love this movie so much. It's the
question's in it, and he's played by Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs. It's great.
We got Jeffrey Combs' question, and it's a Brave and the Bold reunion.
It's great.
It's great.
I love it.
Gotham by Gaslight. I will put that in B. They did a smart thing where it's a murder mystery where they changed the twist to who the murderer is, so that way if you read the comic, you didn't get completely like in the movie you're watching it and you're like, oh wait, that's different.
Is it better than the Tomorrow versus twist, I'm assuming?
Yes. It's not like a Pixar twist villain rug pull. It's like an actual engineered the clues make sense twist. Also, love me some Gotham by Gaslight. Controversial pick, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. I'm putting an A.
No, I like this film. I'm not.
It is the best Suicide Squad movie ever made.
Yeah, I grew tired of the squad, but like I think this film showcased what makes them good.
Yes. It also showed
really
how the squad is expendable because they put in characters that would just straight up die, which is kind of the fun of the Suicide Squad. They don't get an S because they ripped off a Secret Six storyline, and I could have gotten a Secret Six movie instead. So it's
also this film really ties back to the beginning of the universe. Really enough,
somehow it ties into Flashpoint.
Also, I will say this is just not this for this film, but I really get tired when I see skinny woman Amanda Waller.
Yes.
In animation.
So sick of that.
Come on.
Dr. Fate's a stripper in this, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Anyways, Batman Ninja B.
It's all right.
It was good.
It's fine.
Okay.
I need to watch it again. It's been 6 years.
I mean, the sequel's coming out.
Exactly.
Might as well.
You did get a mecha thing in there, so you know.
It's true.
Yeah.
Teen Titans Go, the movies also gets a B. It's comedy, so comedy's subjective. But I thought,
I mean, there were really some fun. There were some really funny moments.
So much. There was like the scene where they're doing the red carpet for the movie, and it's like they go up to Supergirl and like, "Oh, who are you wearing?" And then Plastic Man's head pops up. Plastic Man. And I love Stan.
I love Stan. I think my favorite is
one of the best things too.
Also, just the morbid like when he.
Oh yeah. They're like, let's prevent the superheroes from happening, so we'll get the movies. And they come back, and all the villains have taken over the planet. Like,
so
okay, we have to go back and prevent ourselves from preventing it. So they literally just shove Bruce Wayne's parents into the alley.
No, my favorite was the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Where they just turn the turtles around.
They turn the turtles around so they'd walk away from the mutagen. They drown Aqua Baby so they undrown him. Oh no! They threw plastic into the ocean. One of those like can things, and like Aqua Baby's like neck gets strangled by it. Teen Titans Go, the movie is actually pretty great. Death of Superman. I'm giving this one an A. And I'll tell you why. Because this is a story we've seen played out many times. I love the original Death of Superman comic a whole lot. It's Jerry O'Connell and Rebecca Romijn as Clark and Lois that just sell this whole thing. They are like in it. They are in the emotional stakes of this thing, and they are incredible.
I was a big fan of the Cat Superman into this film. I think they
rebooted the character. They're like, we cast Jerry O'Connell, we've rebooted the character. Like, don't worry about Alan Tudyk playing him.
It's like getting Superman's own film with actually making better.
Yep.
What a strange thought.
Love the conversations in Lois and Wonder Woman and stuff. There's so many good things in this. Plus, Hawkman got lines. That doesn't happen often.
He speaks.
He speaks. Freedom Fighters the Ray, similar to the Vixen, I'm going to put this in B. It was pretty solid. This was kind of interesting because the Ray was not like a mainstay character. Neither was Vixen. She was like a guest star. But the Ray was from the Earth X. So it was after the Earth X like event. They were like, let's do the backstory of him and how he got to Earth X and stuff. So it was pretty cool. Also, it was nice because the Freedom Fighters kind of got some spotlight for once. So... no Uncle Sam though, because CW was like no Uncle Sam. But they got a version of Black Condor that showed up in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yay! I didn't watch DC Superhero Girls: Legends of Atlantis. Constantine: City of Demons.
Love this movie.
I'm putting it in A. I'm not gonna go S.
Oh, really? Well, what was the thing that held it back for you?
The gore is disgusting.
I mean,
there's a line. There's a line where the gore is like it fits, or the gore is just gross, and the gore just got gross at several times. So
I didn't mind. Like I didn't mind it because I just kind of knew what to expect. It's a horror thing.
Yeah.
I just think the writing is strong. Especially when we get to the end of this. Especially when we get to Crisis, it's
so funny because it's produced by DeCamu people, but yet it aired on CWC first.
Yeah, because it was weird because I think it was sort of it was weird because I think it was maybe a pseudo sequel to the CW series, but yeah, it's the CW continuity.
It was originally announced as like Ray and Vixen would be the CW universe, but then they're like, it's actually DeCamu, surprise.
Yeah, but no, Constantine's story was fantastic. I love the writing of Constantine in this movie. It's so great.
Reign of the Superman is one of my favorite Superman comics of all time. So the movie's only a B, and the reason why is because of freaking Darkseid. Why the hell was Darkseid in this? That's my problem. I think because they were setting up Apocalypse War. This is my problem. This is why we haven't really gotten into it, but I don't like the interconnected universe thing with the movies because I felt like these movies worked so well when they were standalone. Like, this universe already exists. We're just dropping you in and telling you a story, you know?
Well, I think before this, I think what works is I don't mind them being connected, but I think it was smart connect where it's the same character, same voice actors sometimes, and that's it. Like they weren't
when they started trying to MCU build up to Thanos with their Darkseid as their equivalent to Thanos. That's where it starts having issues and starts chugging in it. The problem I have with this is that Mongol and Cyborg Superman are the main villains of the storyline, and they just didn't use Mongol, and they instead put Darkseid in.
These movies hate Mongol for some reason.
Yeah, these movies hate Mongol. Cyborg Superman becomes a pawn of Darkseid. Cyborg Superman made Mongol his bitch. Like, this was his big storyline. And I thought that all four of the Supermen were well cast. I thought the setup was great, and I thought...
Yeah, you like Hal Kestis Superboy?
I did. I liked Joker Superboy. It was great. I liked so much about this. It's just the Darkseid twist didn't do it for me, because it was just setting up Darkseid, and I was like, I needed Cyborg Superman being the main villain. There's still a lot of great moments in it. That's why it's not higher. But
you mean lower?
It's lower because of Darkseid. It would be an A if it wasn't Darkseid. If it was actually Mongol and Cyborg Superman as the villains, it would have been A.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, the first half is much stronger than the second half scenario.
Justice League versus the Fatal Five, my beloved. You made Mr. Terrific cool again.
Man, Mr. Terrific was always cool. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, nobody had used Mr. Terrific besides just standing at a monitor for like 10 years, okay? And then they're like, we're going to make Mr. Terrific a main member, and he's doing like invisibility tech stuff, and he's flying. And every time people have been saying, what's Mr. Terrific going to do in a Superman movie? I have been showing them the clip of him in the sky battle. Mr. Terrific is amazing.
Yeah, no, I love this movie. I think it was a great
the way they worked in Miss Martian and Jessica Cruz was brilliant. Wonder Woman finally got to be a spotlight character in a DCAU thing.
The Legion was. I think how they used the Legion was great.
I mean, it's a Justice League Unlimited follow up with the Legion of Superheroes, Jessica Cruz, and Mr. Terrific's the main character, and I'm like, yes, please,
you can tell.
Thank you.
Because I remember James Tucker and crew didn't really have much to work on this, but you can tell the writer. I'm sadly forgetting the writer's name, but you can tell he loves. Eric Carrasco loves the DCAU.
Yep.
All the callbacks and everything. And man, I can't wait to get to the last thing.
Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A.
S. Oh, really? Because I love this movie. I adore
Actually,
this movie
wait,
so
it is
much.
an S.
It
Oh, it has to be
Yeah.
an A.
No, it's an S. I don't have any. I have.
No, well,
I can't
that's
think
the
of anything
Turtles.
bad about it.
It's the Turtles.
What's the problem with the
Well,
turtles?
Turtles.
They're the Turtles.
They're just the turtle. I don't know. There's
Exactly, that's the problem.
There don't have to be anything different because there's not an established turtles to use, right?
Yeah, it's the original Turtles. Yeah, this is the original Turtles.
Hey, Batman Hush sucked. That's a C.
I like Batman Hush.
Batman Hush is a terrible comic, by the
I'm-
way, guys. Batman Hush is only famous because Jim Lee did the artwork and he drew every Batman villain ever, and it was a great like evergreen like thing. Okay, but like Batman Hush is not a good comic, and this movie is not even a good adaptation of Batman Hush because it's actually a Batman Catwoman movie that happens to have Hush as a background thing.
I think Hush the story. I like the Hush story. I do not like how it's written. I think it's the word for me. I did enjoy the Batman Catwoman stuff in this film. That was some fun stuff. But like, I think my problem with this film was very convoluted. Like
Yes.
a lot of stuff was going on in this whole movie.
Oh man, we're almost done. All right, Sergeant Rock, DC Showcase. S. It's Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, great short.
Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. A, because they actually did multiple art styles for a multiverse story. What a shock.
Yeah. I think I think my problem with this film is I feel like it's feel like a less proper crossover with both shows because I think it kind of feel like the Teen Titans were kind of viewed under the fandom eyes and a proper crossover because they're all serious in this
Yes.
film.
'Cause
And
the problem
Teen
with having
Titans-
basically two versions of the same characters in the movie, they have to have a huge distinction.
yeah,
Because
like I watching
yeah.
it didn't feel like a proper cross. I feel like more of a what the public perception of both shows.
I
as a
do
crossover-
appreciate this movie for, like, again, the production value of having
Yeah.
a multiverse
Really,
story.
yeah.
And Santa Claus is the main character. He's one of the main villains. That's good.
Yeah, it's a fun
He's always
movie,
a
but I think
villain.
What was that, Wheels?
I mean, he's always a villain.
I know.
Over.
yeah, but I think
yeah.
the film's fun. But I think it's the potential wasn't there. I think when we first heard this coming out
Yep.
scenario.
I'd still keep it an A, though. I'm not dropping it lower.
No, I think it's a good movie. I think it's a fine movie. It's just I wish it was better. Kind of
Wonder
scenario.
Woman Bloodlines. B. Hey, the Dekamu had one art style change, and it was this movie.
So it was a slight art style change, but I
liked it.
really like this film. I
I
really
didn't love it, but I really liked it.
I think it's just nice seeing more Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
just kinda nice
it
to
was
see
like,
that.
what, 2009 Wonder Woman, 2018 Wonder Woman Bloodlines?
Yeah, and I like
Oh,
how
sorry,
she was
2009.
characterized. I like seeing.
Yeah.
I like how she was characterized. I like her cast. It did get a little messy the final battle, but
The final
I
battle's
liked
too
it.
long.
It was just a fun watch.
the final,
the final
the final battle's too long and it's too abusive. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but like I
How
enjoyed it.
abusive
It's a
is it?
fun watch.
Diana just gets
also-
beat on for like 20 minutes. It's like,
I don't know. That sounds pretty much like a Wonder Woman comic in the 90s.
yeah, but this was a modern film, not a 90s film, because Wonder Woman comics in the 90s sucked. Hey,
Oh, there was some
DC
good
Showcase Death is S tier. That is like a beautiful piece of art.
I don't think I've seen this one. I don't. I forget. Was Death started a lot? What were they Did they make a compilation movie of those ones?
Yes,
I don't
it
remember
was the
they
Batman
did.
Death in the Family compilation.
Yeah, okay, that's why I didn't watch it because I didn't watch that one yet. That Death of the Family one.
Death is really good. It's based on the character from the Sandman universe, and holy crap, that thing hits hard. If you have depression, watch it with a friend. I'm going to leave it at that.
If you have depression, watch it by yourself.
No, I do not recommend that.
Yes.
Superman
Red Sun made some changes too. I thought this was pretty solid though. I'm going to give it an A. I think they actually kind of hit the message harder than the original Superman Red Sun comic did. Kind
I
of.
haven't read the comic or watched the movie, so I can't give an opinion.
The
on
comic
it.
goes a little bit more subtle. The movie goes a little bit more just like, let's make it very clear what's supposed to be interpreted here, which I think is good. DC Showcase The Phantom Stranger is an S tier. Oh my god, could I put this higher? Because I love this short so much. I love the Phantom Stranger. He's like one of my favorite characters of all time, and he never gets to do cool things, and they finally let him do cool things in the short. Phantom Stranger, guys. He's the coolest. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War sucks ass. I hate that movie. That-
I love how it
Don't
killed
even know
you.
that one.
S. I love how it killed you. So S rank.
Yeah, you can put it in your S wheels. It's funny because this used to be, I'd say I said this was the worst DC animated movie. It couldn't.
And
be any
then the
worse than
newest
this.
universe-ending film came out.
Anyways, moving on. DC Showcase Adam Strange. I'm also dropping an F. I hate that short.
Well, I barely remember.
Here's
this
the thing
one.
about
What
Adam
was-
Strange. What makes him fun is that he's an adventurer in space, and he comes from Earth to Zenla, and he meets... not Zenla. Is it Zenla? Ran.
Rose Ding Dang.
Yeah.
He goes to Ran, he falls in love with a woman, and he has this great adventure, but he's stuck with this Zeta beam that transports him at uncontrolled ways. The promo art, as you can see in this poster, is a Silver Age Adam Strange. So, much to my surprise, the entire short is that he gets transported somewhere and is lost for 20 years as he becomes a grumpy old man who hates everything. And then he gets transported by a Zeta beam finally, randomly, and he ends up in the Tomorrowverse somehow.
Wait, is that
How's
the same?
Tomorrowverse?
It's the same Adam Strange as the one that shows up in the Tomorrowverse.
Hell's
Wait,
the
which-
Tomorrowverse?
You mean Legends of
Film?
Tomorrow?
Which film did he appear in?
Man of
Or was he
Tomorrow,
Crisis?
the Superman Man of Tomorrow universe that is actually just a reboot. We'll get there.
Oh, Superman.
He
Man of
showed up
Tomorrow,
in
okay.
Green Lantern Beware My Power.
Oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to be the
And then he
same
was in
one.
Crisis Part 2 and 3.
I think was
Okay,
he a
I was-
background guy? 'Cause I barely remember.
He was a
him.
background guy in Crisis, but in Green Lantern Beware My Power, he has like a whole plot line, and it's the same Adam
Yeah,
Strange
I totally
from the show.
forgot. I totally forgot about Adam Strange in that movie.
The worst part about that short, too, is at the beginning, Rand gets attacked and everybody he loves gets killed and
Oh,
he gets
that's
hated
why.
away, and I'm just
okay,
like,
that's
this
why,
sucks!
Okay, that's why I didn't recognize it. He was bearded like Hobo Man.
bearded
in
Hobo
that
Man.
movie. That's why I didn't recognize.
Terrible. Deathstroke Knights and Dragons gets a C because of its crimes against humanity for Lady Shiva.
What they do? Because I never seen this one.
Lady Shiva is the most powerful martial artist in the history of DC comics. Okay?
Hey, that part I know, yeah.
Why is she a jobber in the whole movie?
Oh dear.
Oh, really?
Isn't Lady Shiva's only equal like Richard Dragon depending on the year-end universe?
Yes, she's only rivaled by Richard Dragon sometimes, but she gets her ass beat by Deathstroke for like an hour. And I'm just like,
Golly.
anyways,
I like Deathstroke, but no. What?
Superman, Man of False
Uh-uh.
Promises. Superman, Man of Tomorrow. I'm going to give this an A.
No matter what we say about the Tomorrow 24, I still think Man of Tomorrow is a legitimately fantastic Superman film. I think it reintroduces the character
What's that
great.
one?
It's a great
It was
modern
the-
origin.
Man of Tomorrow
Which
was
one?
Man of Tomorrow was after Justice League Dark Apocalypse War was the ending of the DC cinematic
I don't
movie
remember them even
universe.
announcing this film.
No,
Came
it
out
was
like
just
4
average.
years ago.
It was just
Wait,
a
was this
Superman
the-
movie.
I don't know. Am I thinking? Is this the one with Lobo in it or no?
Yes.
Yes, Lobo,
Lobo,
Parasite.
Manhunter, and Parasite.
Okay. I saw this movie once. Yeah.
I like before My Adventure Superman came out. I think this was a really great reintroduction to
I
Superman
liked it.
for
It
people.
was alright.
Mm.
And I think the matches at the end of the film still hold. Because I think one
I
thing.
remember Superman got naked from a fight. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. There's one thing I think. Yeah, there's one thing I think Superman people keep forgetting about Superman is he's supposed to represent like immigrant refugees because like that his two creators Jewish people Jewish people or something like that. And I think this film did a really good job. Into My Adventure Superman did much better, but still, I think I feel like that's a important part of the character that I think some people don't talk about. Is he's supposed to be a representative of immigrants moving to outside their territory, and that's what makes Superman relatable to a lot of people. Is that part that I'm glad more media is adapting about the character.
Yep.
You gotta put back in the American way, or they're not gonna understand him.
I don't think that weird, like, oh, we changed the phrase from True Trust in the American. That didn't stick.
Oh no,
They went back to it.
They don't need to have the phrase.
Oh.
You just need them to have the embodiment of the America. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. It's like how they've been doing Captain America lately, where it's like the embodiment of the spirit of what America should be, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I just love the clip of I love the clip of Brandon Bold.
The other problem is, like I was telling Jerry the other day, which was ironic because someone had to reshare it in Twitter, is you can do Superman with Edge. You just gotta have the Edge done right. And then as soon as I said that, the next thing I see is, hey, I wanted to, hey, don't make me do this here in the diner. I don't want to do this in front of your daughter.
Oh yeah, the
Go
Superman and
outside.
Lois scene.
Man,
I was
I love that
like,
scene. That seems
That's
so
the
great.
edge I need.
All right, Batman: Death in the Family is. You should never watch this movie on digital.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched it.
It doesn't work
that's
on
why I haven't
digital. You
watched
need
it.
the physical Blu-ray because it is a choose-your-own-adventure that starts with does Jason Todd live or die, and you have to select.
What I'm going with.
You have to select, and then you get to play out several key decisions as it branches into so many different ways to see how the story could turn out. Like, Jason living is actually the worst outcome every single time.
I know that because I voted for the original outcome many, many moons ago.
They should put this on Netflix. I think Netflix is the only one that does that whole like choose your own adventure thing.
And also on top of that, if
I
you
love
do,
how Jerry was the first one to think. Wait a second.
Wait, yeah. How old are you, Wheels?
Yeah, no, I love how Jerry was the first one to figure. Wait a second. Wheels said nah, get out of here. I'm glad Jerry was the only like.
Wheels isn't old enough to have voted in the original. Anyways, it's great. It's really cool. It's a unique thing to a direct-to-video movie series to have. I'm putting it in A because I think it's just really awesome. They brought back the cast from Under the Red Hood to record stuff for all the new scenes.
Years later.
Like what was that? That was 2020, and the Under the Red Hood came out in like 2010.
29. I thought it was 2009.
2009, yeah. It was like 11 years later. They brought the whole cast back. Great stuff. It's the showcase collection that includes Sergeant Rock, Death, and Phantom Stranger. It's like one of the best Blu-rays you could ever buy.
What's the one that we saw that was shot like it was a film, the Filmation Spider-Man or whatever it was?
That was Constantine. That was the Constantine collection.
Yeah. Batman Soul of the Dragon, B.
Not part of the Tomorrowverse.
Not Tomorrow the Tomorrowverse, but part of the spine. I liked that movie, and I thought the ending of it was kind of left ambiguous. I was like, cool, maybe they'll pick that up when they announced Crisis. I was like, maybe they'll pick up that universe.
Nope.
No, they didn't. Justice Society World War II. Oh, God. I'm putting it in C.
It was all right.
It was all right. It was like, oh, Barry travels back in time and meets the Justice Society during World War II. Turns out it's an alternate universe. This movie is the entire reason that freaking the Tomorrowverse goes off the rails. And
yeah,
every good thing it had going for it is done by Hawkman gets killed like a cheap bitch, and then it ruins the new universe by getting into
is that why it's C?
That's why it's C, because we had a Hawkman who was a character and had personality and dialogue, and then he just dies like a bitch.
Whoa. Beyond just having big meaty legs that allow him to fly?
Yes, he actually had character.
Is that why you have a soft spot for Black Adam?
Yes, because Black Adam had Dr. Fate and Hawkman as actual well-represented versions of the characters. That's why I have a soft spot for them.
His big meaty legs.
Yes.
DC
Showcase Commandy. I'm putting that in A. That's a pretty solid adaptation of the original.
I like
Commandy
that
comics.
one. Yeah, I really like that one. I don't think those are really good.
Where's my Animal Man?
Animal Man's not on here. DC Nation Shorts is a separate tier list.
I know. I'm making a joke. Where's his movie?
Where is his movie exactly?
Short should have gave us a movie.
Where's Swamp Thing's solo movie?
Exactly.
Teen Titans Go See Space Jam.
Did we count this? Like
it's a movie. It's got new animation through the entire thing. I watched it. It's the Teen Titans sitting on a couch watching Space Jam. They meet the freaking aliens from Space Jam at the beginning, and they're like, we have to watch this movie now. And they just watch the entirety of the movie. And they're all there the whole time. It's like a bunch of... it's new animation, and they even digitally sold the thing.
Is it like MST Key
Yes.
I'm assuming?
But with the Teen Titans watching.
You need to see it. I've just seen clips of it out of context. I'm like, I need to see
it. When Space Jam 2 was coming out, I didn't watch Space Jam again. I watched Teen Titans watch Space Jam.
I think that was the idea.
Yeah, I did that instead. That was better. MJ Klein, we put Teen Titans Go to the Movies B. Right? Yeah, B.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Long Halloween.
Long Halloween is frustrating. I don't like aspects of this film, but there's a lot of frustrating.
They tried to do the thing they did with Gotham by Gaslight, where they changed the identity of the holiday killer.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it in a way that just created another Batman villain that already existed. So it didn't actually change the twist; it just changed the villain.
Yeah, I actually really like Bruce's and Selena's like dynamic. It's like I
Yes.
kind of like they stayed together as a couple at the end. I liked it. And then they threw
And
that away.
Jensen Ackles was good leveling up from Red Hood to Batman.
Yeah, no, I that's because again there was like unlike Man Tomorrow where I could fully see this universe this Superman universe. Long Halloween is like I could see a Batman universe, but it needs more time in the oven kind of
Yeah.
scenario.
I think the plot and the actual mystery resolution, because the thing is, they kill off the guy who was the original Holiday Killer in the comics at the end of part 1, which just left me so baffled. Because I was like, okay, and then part 2 just sort of falls apart because of that. The other thing I'll add to this as well is the art style. This is going to the problem of the connected universe where they had the same art style. I think the art style for Man of Tomorrow worked. It was fine for Justice Society, but Tim Sale's artwork is so iconic. Like, doing Long Halloween in this art style is just a disservice.
You can say you're very similar to the Camus when they adapted certain books, yeah.
Exactly. It was the same issue. Like, Batman Hush would be higher if it was looking like a Jim Lee movie. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like back when Public Enemies looked like Ed McDenis artwork just walked off the page.
Oh, that was so great.
Mm-hmm. The Losers. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this one in.
That was a really good one. I like that story of the Losers.
I have to separate my knowledge of the Losers from this short.
I think as a story,
Hey.
I'm not familiar with the Losers. I'm not familiar with the Losers, but as a story, I like the story a lot.
Hey, Commodore 64. As a DC Showcase story, I'm putting it in A. As a Losers adaptation, I'd put it in B. That's fair. DC Showcase Blue Beetle S.
I love this one. It's so great. I love it so much. I love the purposeful
What if 60s
animation.
Spider-Man didn't exist and instead we had a Blue Beetle cartoon? That's the whole premise.
I love the purposeful animation errors. Also, I love like David K as the question. Especially love the end where you're just questioning logic. Where he's like, how can you are you under my mind control? I don't believe in logic.
Yep. Injustice. They missed the entire point of Injustice.
I remember when it came out and you guys were just ranting about it.
Yep.
The only good parts of that movie is Plastic Man.
They were trying to adapt the Injustice prequel comic, missed the entire point, came up with a new ending that sucks, and they killed Flash at the beginning of the story, so and then no one ever acknowledges it.
Yep. They just wasted Yuri Alonso's Flash.
Flash is dead, and guess what? The second that Joker kills Flash at the beginning of this movie, it's no longer canon to the video games.
Mm-hmm.
Because Flash is a big part of Injustice 1's story. So the thing is, when they announced this, I was like, oh, they're going to adapt the Injustice comic to a movie, so if you play the games, you don't have to read the comic, you can just watch the movie. And then they completely made it non-canon.
Also,
I was like, what was the point?
The way how Nightwing dies in this version is so funny.
I love it.
His dead man magical girl transformation lives rent-free in my head.
I forget this.
Dumb movie. Hate it. Okay, Catwoman Hunted, I'm going to give this one a B. I like this one a lot. It was like Catwoman Lupin the Third.
You know what's weird about this movie?
It's in the Young Justice canon.
No, not that. But like the anime art style, I think it looks fine. But you know what's the weirdest? The character that looks the weirdest is Batwoman.
Yes.
Not when the mask is gone. When she takes off her mask, she looks so like anime teenage girly.
That's why this is only in B.
We look weird.
Catwoman
like,
Lupin the Third, great stuff. Catwoman flirting with Batwoman to get her guard down, great stuff. The music, the stylization, great. Some of the character designs just miss. And that's just what it is, you know. It was nice seeing the same Cheshire from Young Justice, though. That was the cool part, too.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody ever see this besides me and Ryan?
I
think that's the case.
Party all the time. Party.
All right.
Catwoman
Hunted.
Is that the one where she fights like a jacked cheetah at the end?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw clips of that. I haven't seen the whole thing.
That's probably okay. It's a B.
Hey, Constantine, House of Mysteries.
Is it weird I put this in C because I didn't like it?
My problem with it is I don't know if that punishment was justified for Constantine.
He did not. Okay, here's the thing. I just have to realize this now. If you're going from Dark Side War
Oh god, you're
Apocalypse
right.
War.
With a context of crisis.
If you go to
you're right.
Apocalypse War to House of Mystery, you're like, wow, Constantine got really raked over the coals in hell. This seems like unfair. He didn't really do anything that bad. But now that you see the retcon that came in Crisis Part 3, that he had Flash go kill Baby Darkseid, maybe that was justified.
It makes me wonder, did they plan ahead? Because, oh my god, they planned ahead. God.
Was it planned when they made this an unnecessary short? Like, we didn't need to go back to the
Yes.
Decamu at this point, but they did it anyways. Is that when the plan started?
I feels like, because again, like, because here's the thing, like, we were talking about the situation with Crisis, but like, the Decamu was like, how could you save that universe? It was like dead. It was like there's no saving that universe.
Here's the thing,
That's
too.
why.
Regardless of the context, I think it's still C because it did not need to exist. I almost want to move it to D now because of this.
I also
We
like
need more in D.
like,
it's fine.
Also, like, especially compared to the last Constantine, it's just not as good.
No. How Flash killed Baby Darkseid? I still
We'll
don't
get
know
to
how-
it.
We'll get to it. We haven't gotten there yet. Peacemaker's like, I'm sorry, Barry did what now? Yeah, we'll get there.
No. I respect Barry for doing this.
No,
No,
Barry
you
didn't
need to
do
know
it.
the context. No, you need Wheels. Wait till we tell you.
We'll
what
tell you the
happens.
context. We'll tell you the context. All right. Teen Titans Go and DC Supergirls Mayhem in the Multiverse. Clickbait title. I'm putting this in A because it was all the best things about Generation
DC
2
Girls.
DC Superhero Girls. And it was their finale movie because their season got cut short because the Supergirl actress left and Warner Brothers didn't give a shit to give them the other half of the season. So they made a movie, and then the Teen Titans Go are there for a bit of it. And they even complain. They're like, wait, I thought this was a crossover. Why are we not in this? And it's because they wanted to finish up DC Superhero Girls. I didn't watch Aquaman King of Atlantis because I figured I'd hate it, so I didn't bother.
Right.
Green Lantern, Beware My Power. F.
This show has so much potential. I
Trash.
think it's some good. Like, I think John was fine in the film.
John was given Kyle Rayner's backstory.
Oh god, you're right. I didn't realize that.
Why do we keep doing this? It's like when
It's
Tim
the
Drake got Jason Todd's backstory and beat
No, it's still it's full circle. Kyle got Hal's backstory in the anime. It's in DCAU. Now John got so next time we see Hal, you better get John's backstory.
Exactly.
Full circle.
No, when we see what's his face, the ginger, he
Got-
gets John's story.
Guy Gardner.
Guy
Gardner
Gardner.
gets to be an architect and a marine. Okay.
Yes, we'll get that.
Yeah, that's gonna be his origin in the gun universe.
This movie just does not work.
Oh my god, guys, no, let's give Guy Simon Baz's backstory. It'll be even more weird.
Oh god, I can't even
about
right now.
Oh, come on, think about it. Guy Gardner with a gun. Come on.
He actually has a gun in the gun movie.
Let's say.
See?
Shoot.
No. He's saying Guy doesn't need this excuse to have a gun. Guy is just that kind of dude.
It's the kind of
Yeah,
dude
because
that...
he's a Boston cop. He's an asshole.
That's true. That's true. Beware My Power doesn't work as a movie. The plot makes no sense. Also, last time we saw this universe, it was Long Halloween, where Flash and Green Arrow show up to Batman's door. In this movie, the Justice League's been active for over 2 years, to the point where they had a Hal Jordan, lost a Hal Jordan, and now they're like, we need a new Green Lantern. And it's like, where did this Justice League come from? Just happened off screen.
You bought two copies of this movie.
I own
to
2
get this
copies of
fine
this
art.
movie, and it was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
You just
That's
you
smart.
just sold a slipcover.
Seriously. Also, they pull a Disney Pixar twist villain rug pull thing, and it's stupid.
Yep.
It's Sandra Oh again.
If only. Super Pets, League of Super Pets D.
That's an F for me. I hate that movie.
I don't hate it. It's not good.
Some organizations, everybody just so is either bad or boring or generic kids film.
It wants to be Illumination, but it doesn't have the Illumination sauce.
It's not even funny at all. Like they try to be funny, but it's all fall flats.
Battle of the
Also,
Super Sons.
I love this movie.
I'll
I
put
think it was
A.
a fun
I'll put
movie.
A.
That was a fun movie. It was a really.
They actually
I love-
understood how the characters work. That's a upside right now in this era of DC.
I also like the 3D animation style. It looked nice.
It's not too
It's
bad.
unique.
I liked it. Much better than what they're doing with Watchmen. Legion of Superheroes B. And the thing is, I think Legion of Superheroes is the last good Tomorrowverse movie. It gave me hope again after Green Lantern. But they Pixar villain twist rug pulled Mon-El on us, and I hated that.
Yeah, I like the Supergirl at the film. I think she was fun. Yeah, I think
I liked getting a Legion movie. I just wish it was better.
Yeah.
because they were like love triangle between Supergirl, Mon-El, and Brainiac, and I'm like, that's only a thing if you watch the Supergirl TV show.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And you.
Yeah, Mon-El and Supergirl were like a couple on the Supergirl TV show. It was never a comics thing. Batman the Doom of Gotham was like my hope that DC movies were still going to be good outside of connected universes, and it was the last good movie.
Wrong about that.
It was the last good movie we got.
This was the Mike Mignola based comic, right?
Yes, it was great. I loved it. It brought me back. It brought me back to the days of like, you know, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, and Justice League Doom, and I was like, maybe we can have good things. No, we can't. I didn't watch the Justice League Ruby crossover, but I heard it was trash.
It was not
It was
good.
so-
as
it was
as someone who's
so
a
bad.
both
It was
franchises,
awful.
it was not good. It was not a good introduction to the Ruby series. It was not a good introduction to DC. There was some bad characterization that both
I
have.
gotta
You
Don't
remember when
watch it.
Jessica
Wait
Cruz
for you.
lost her ring?
Yeah,
I saw
It's
that
not-
clip, and I was like, this is terrible.
yeah,
Guys,
no,
guys,
it's written.
guys, come on.
It's not even written
I'll
by
give you
the.
a good
It's not even
example.
written by the normal
Batman-
Ruby team.
Batman
It's written
loved
by
getting
what's her name, Megan Fritz. She wrote the Tim Drake comic.
Yeah.
And I could tell because no
Oh,
one felt
right.
in character. No one felt in character on both sides. It's not good. Part 2's slightly
They gave
better. And the
Batman
keyword
superpowers.
slightly.
Is that what I heard Wheel
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
Batman
no,
got
they
superpowers
use the
and he
fondness, which is
enjoyed
the
it,
animal people
and he
in
became
Ruby,
like a
and
twat
they made a
because-
stupid plot point of him wanting to stay and Remnant. It was stupid. It was
Can
I
we
do-
move back to more trash?
yeah, no,
then? My
yeah,
head's
no. This
hurting.
next
Justice League
yeah,
War
what's
World
next?
is not a movie. It does not exist as a movie. It is just a sequence of events to say Crisis is coming.
So, question: after seeing Crisis, do you say this is worse than Crisis or
No.
equal? Still worse than
It-
Crisis?
When I get to Crisis, I'll tell you how I feel about Crisis. Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2, I'm putting it in C.
It's fun.
I like
It's really-
it. It was fun. I like the joke that Lois and Jimmy are like, Velma, where'd you go? Because she took her glasses
I like.
off.
I think I like this. Were just silly Lex more than what Brainiac Attack was trying to do
Yes.
with Lex being comedic. He was just fun.
It doesn't
he was
have
just
the
like that
same charm
mustache.
as Scooby-Doo and Batman Brave and the Bold, though.
No, definitely. But I think that's more thinking. That's because that was Brave and the Bold. I
Yeah.
feel like maybe that's part of it. But no, it's.
When I thought this movie was canceled for a tax write-off, after watching it, I was like, okay, even if it was, I don't. I think it just overdid everything. Everything they did was just over the top, and to the point where it just. Was
I mean, it's Scoob. I think it does have Scoobiness. I mean, hey, it got a cameo Legion of Superheroes TV show. That was
It
great
did.
to see.
That's why it's not in D.
Oh, come on, I don't think it deserves to be in D.
It doesn't
It's
need
fine.
to be. It's fine. C is it's fine tier. Merry Little Batman's going right next to it. I'm going to tell you why. I think it was kind of fun to do this new art style. I think it was fun to do something different, like a little Christmas movie thing. I thought the themes were good. I watched it during Christmas time, which was good too. I like all that, but like when I watched that movie, I was like, I have to take this as a movie because this is not Batman and Damian. This is not.
No, it's
None of these
generic
Yeah.
It's generic Batman and Batson. It's not meant to be.
You could replace any of these characters with off-brand, non-branded superheroes from DC, and it would be the same movie.
Yeah, but
So
as
C.
a film, it's cute.
It's cute.
I think it's really cute. I don't mind it at all.
All right, guys. So I had
Crisis of Infinite Earths.
I had the pleasure of watching all 3 parts of Crisis on Infinite Earths last Friday, back to back.
Oh, I just watched part 1. Okay, me and my friends watched part 1 when it came out, and then we watched parts 2 and 3.
I saw clips
last
from
week.
part 1 and said, I do not have the strength to watch these piecemeal. I have to watch it all at once. Okay? I need to give some context for the stream chat. Chat, you hear me out? Crisis on Infinite Earths is a comic book that was a celebration of DC Comics that had the sole purpose, editorial-wise, of streamlining DC's universe, getting all their characters onto one Earth, as opposed to having them all scattered across the multiverse. George Perez, Marv Wolfman, made a loving tribute to the legacy of DC Comics, checking in with all the universes we had seen prior in the comics, giving conclusions to stories that had been left open-ended by cancellations, and bringing together an overall new connected universe with a mini-series follow-up showing the new history of the DC Universe. It is a loving, beautiful tribute, and it is the first major event comic for DC, as it had connections and tie-ins across the board. There is a reason the original Crisis comic existed, and that was to streamline the universe. But in doing so, Marvin George created a wonderful tribute to the DC Universe and was my exploration and my opening to the rest of the DC Universe that existed beyond Batman and the Justice League. And it is the reason I'm a DC fan.
Also, I want to point out the way now hearing the story. Now I'm imagining the Teen Titans Go episode of Marvel will try to create the new Teen Titans, but that back for Crisis. I want to see that episode now.
Exactly.
Imagine that.
Because they had to go through a lot of ideas to get what they eventually did. There's a lot of beautiful, poignant moments in the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic. When the CW adapted the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic into their TV show universe, they did a 5-part event that was led into by all of the currently ongoing shows. And they had the goal of getting Supergirl, Flash and Friends, and Black Lightning all onto one Earth, which is what they needed because they were filming they were filming at least Supergirl and Flash and them in Toronto. And it was like Supergirl's only on her own Earth because of the CBS airing that the show started as. So they wanted to get it all onto one Earth. And in doing so, provided a loving tribute to not only move all the character stories forward of all the characters we had seen in the TV shows, but also include the larger live-action DC multiverse, bringing in cameos of people like Burt Ward, or bringing back like the Birds of Prey cast from their TV show, having wonderful like epilogue pieces for shows like Smallville, carrying the spirit that Marvin George had when they were making the Crisis comic, of we want to celebrate these universes as we create this new one. And the CW succeeded at that. And the smartest thing they did was at the ending of CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths, they had a montage showing the multiverse restored. All those other universes like Stargirl's Earth and Swamp Things and the Titans' Earth, it showed them all being restored. The heroes on the new combined Earth did not know the multiverse was reborn, but us, the audience, knew that those universes that existed outside of this still existed and still carried forward. Crisis on Infinite Earths, the animated movie trilogy, spits in the face of all of that effort that was ever put into the previous 2 adaptations of Crisis, and actually makes you sort of hate DC as a fan because you feel stupid for liking this stuff. And I don't say that hyperbolically, because after watching Crisis Part 3, I thought, I need to do some DC therapy because I thought this was so terrible. And it was to the point where I put on an episode of Justice League Unlimited, and I saw Hawkgirl and Green Lantern, and I got really angry, and I had to turn the show off. Crisis on Infinite Earths, especially Part 3, is such a disaster for me, it ruined my comfort show. There is not a tier I can put this on to match it with anything else. Erased in Crisis is not enough. We are adding a row below, a row that is a black void, and I'm going to call this tier
Absolute Power.
Okay, that was pretty good. I wasn't going to, but that was pretty solid. I actually like that. I'm going to put this new tier. This new tier is I wish it was never made.
Oh, wow.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, this Crisis trilogy results in a brand new rebirthed Earth where the rest of the multiverse, all the stuff you love, the DCAU, Teen Titans, Super Friends, all of it, no longer exists. The only thing, everything is boiled down into one Earth. Because one Earth is the only thing that exists.
Even though I'm pretty sure other comics or other Teen Titans Go could easily just bring back the Teen Titans easily without mentioning this movie at all.
Exactly. No one in their right mind will ever reference the fact that they destroyed the entire DC animated multiverse like this. It is all merged into one Earth to start a brand new universe of movies or some shit. I don't care. I don't want any DC animated movies to ever be made again. I don't want anyone to ever acknowledge that this movie happened, because there was no point to actually make it. There was no streamlining of a multiverse needed. There was no restoration of a multiverse at the end to make it feel like your stuff that you love was continuing. The DCAU is dead. The 2003 Titans are dead. Super Friends is dead. All of it is wiped out. And it's never restored. And it leaves you kind of feeling hopeless. And the way that they reference things can be summed up so perfectly in the DCAU cameo. It says Earth 12. Earth 12 is not the DCAU. Earth 12 is the Batman Beyond Alternate Universe tie-in comics. They show a scene of Mark Hamill as Joker and Kevin Conroy as Batman. It's his last performance. and they're on the rooftop in Gotham. They're in the BTAS art style. They get wiped out. It cuts to the satellite from Justice League, not the one from Unlimited, from Justice League.
No, it's Unlimited.
Is it Unlimited? Does it have the rings? It has the rings, but it doesn't have the satellite. It doesn't have the satellite watchtowers. It shows Aquaman in the watchtower, which is not usually something that happens.
Why is he typing with his hook hand?
He's typing with hook hand. Then it shows Wonder Woman and Superman are in the background, and then it shows Green Lantern.
Wally. Also Wally.
And also
Wally's there.
They're just kind of there. They show Green Lantern and Hawk Girl. They don't give them any lines, but Green Lantern and Hawk Girl share one last kiss, except you start to realize that John must have shaved his beard and grew his hair back out because he's in his Justice League design, while Hawk Girl's in her jumpsuit from JLU, and then it's gone. And that's all you get. You also get Will Friedle as Batman Beyond in these movies, but he has 3 lines of dialogue.
It's not even the same. It's not even DCAU Terry. It's
just
like this
some
weird
Batman
new Terry. Also, the Titan Tree Titans didn't get a cameo. It's just a screenshot of the Titans Tower.
Cameron Metter asked if I had anything good I could say about this trilogy. The first half of Part 1. I really like the first half of Part 1. Conroy's final line actually doesn't make any sense. If you think about...
It's a meta line.
It's a meta line. Why? It's a meta line. It's not an act. It doesn't make sense in story.
I know this is controversial to say, but honestly, that line, while a good line for Conroy to say, it's the same level as Michael Keaton's Batman: The Flash of the whole "let's get nuts."
He just says because
why would he say that?
Yeah.
Like why would it doesn't feel in character to me.
I will also add that I will say the first half where they were kind of having this thing where Barry Allen was time traveling and he was like showing like when he first met Iris and then like later when they're older and then he showed like the formation of the Justice League, which we kind of skipped over before. It's the Justice League we saw in Green Lantern. I liked all that. I was like, oh, this is like a cool Justice League story where it's sort of told non-linearly. And I thought that was cool.
Also, I must say, this is a horrible trilogy. This is a horrible trilogy.
I hope they don't cut these 3 together because it's not going to merge well.
It'll be horrendous. But yeah, the Crisis Part 1 barely adapts the comic, which is a Tomorrowverse movie.
Yes.
About
about 2/3 of the way in, they finish the Amazo plot. 2/3 of the way in, they start doing Crisis stuff. For some reason, Harbinger is Supergirl. For some reason, Pariah is John Constantine. For some reason, we find out. This is the part that puts it in this camp.
Oh yeah, the Crime Syndicate was in the first part. I forgot about that.
The Crime Syndicate was only there because they were in the comic. You know what would have been cool? You know what, legitimately, this is my thing. This is my problem with these movies, too. They're like, let's introduce a brand new crime syndicate for this universe. Why not go pull the Crisis on 2 Earths crime syndicate? You know?
Their Earth is still alive.
You want to bring Kamandi in? Let's go bring in Kamandi from the DC Showcase short. Oh, you want to use... Like, there's so many storylines that have been adapted. They just do new versions. They just do new versions of stuff instead of pulling the older versions, like how the CW did their Crisis.
It's weird because like Blue Beat, like the Charlton Heroes are I think supposed to be the DC Showcase versions of them because they have the same voice actors.
And then DC Showcase Adam Strange is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, Batman Beyond doesn't exist. When they go back to reset the universe, if they're going back to Wonder Woman as a child, he doesn't exist, and he may never exist in this new universe.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the ending of this movie, and this is spoilers for Part 3. If you want no more spoilers, jump out now. But you're in this far, why not?
Part 2 is boring.
Part 2 put me to sleep because they were spending so long on Psycho Pirate, who's not that important of a character.
It was telling the origin of Kara in the Tomorrowverse and Psycho Pirate. Like Kara, I can understand maybe because she's Harbinger, even though it's stupid. But why do we need Psycho Pirate? Why do we need Psycho Pirate?
The problem I have is Part 3. Part 3 reveals that the end of Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, when John Constantine and Barry Allen decide that their world is screwed and they need to start over and that Barry needs to do another Flashpoint. And Barry runs off and then it's like, oh, it's a rebirth of the universe. Turns out, John Constantine put a spell onto the back...
They retconned it. Yeah, they retconned it.
They retconned it. John Constantine put a spell on the back of Barry Allen that would force him to run all the way back in time to when Darkseid was a baby. That spell worked as a neurotoxin to kill baby Darkseid so that Darkseid would not exist and destroy their world.
Yeah, anybody near Barry, just dead.
Yep.
Like parademons, everything.
Barry resets the universe, and that's where the Tomorrowverse was born with Superman Man of Tomorrow. It's actually a rebooted Dekamu. So this has been one continuous universe since Flashpoint Paradox, with 2 resets. Then they say, because Darkseid is a constant that has to always exist, because he didn't exist, the multiverse was born, and that there cannot be a multiverse because it is overcrowded and causing everything to collapse, and that's what creates the Anti-Monitor and why everything has to be destroyed. So everything you love from animated DC only exists because John Constantine sends Barry back in time to kill Darkseid.
Even though, I don't know, that the canon was already part of a multiverse with thanks to Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans, which also includes the DCAU, which includes Super Friends, and so on and so on.
So guys,
and the presence of Black Condor's design from Freedom Fighters The Ray being in Crisis Part 3 means all the live-action multiverse was also wiped.
Oh, wait, they have his design there?
Yes.
Oh, good.
We gotta talk this over. Guys, you do realize now that John Constantine is the reason we got Weird Al Yankovic as Darkseid, that means.
Well, you did. Wait.
It's his fault. It's his fault.
But here's the thing. That doesn't exist anymore.
Here's the thing. That's weird. Because if Barry killing Darkseid is the key point of this whole new multiverse, why are there other Darkseids in these other pocket?
They're like, oh, just because there was no Darkseid in the Tomorrowverse means, like, no, there's Darkseids in all these other universes. There's Darkseids in the DCAU, which they show wiped. There's Darkseid in frickin' Super Friends.
Yep.
Spin Dash says it's so easy just to think of the wiped out universes as variants and not the real ones. Yes, but because they brought back Kevin Conroy and because they used animation still frames from these shows, they are what is the filmmakers are intending to tell us that these are the same versions we've seen before. It is anti-fan service in the sense that it's like, hey, remember that thing? Yeah, it's dead.
It's also inconsistent fans. You mentioned the whole BTAS versus DCAU designs, but you have Aya and Razor from maybe Green Lantern anime series. It's not clear, or maybe they're just new versions of them because Razor's a Blue Lantern, so they have continuity with the
Young
ending
Justice.
of but he's not. Yeah, but he's not a Red and Blue Lantern like the Young Justice. So I guess there's a specific GL, but they don't act the same because Razor mentioned the legendary John Stewart. There was not John Stewart as the Green Lantern in GTAS at all.
Exactly.
Such.
And AR says, wait, I feel like they only want to do this because they want to do specifically Crisis on Earth. If it's Darkseid's death that caused this all, wouldn't that be Final Crisis? Yes. They got so mixed up. And here's the thing. None of the plot lines carry forward between the three movies. And it's so frustrating because Anti-Monitor's boring. Anti-Monitor is a giant shadow monster. He doesn't even have a personality, and he gets named by Psycho Pirate. Psycho Pirate says, well, you're the Anti-Monitor then.
Because it's such missed potential, because if you're gonna have an Anti-Mon, this multiverse thing, why not just make it Aya and Razor the actual versions of them from that universe, and told them, hey, we fought Anti-Monitor in our universe, there's a way to defeat him, because they did defeat him.
Also, design-wise, the CW somehow, with their $5 in a dream, made a better-looking Anti-Monitor.
Yep.
So, basically, what was it? Who asked? Cameron said, will you still read the original Crisis? Absolutely. That is still my favorite DC comic. This movie does not ruin any of that for me. That being said, it's probably going to be a while before I can read it, because all I can think about is a stupid movie right now. And if anybody enjoyed this, all power to you. All power to you. Because if you found enjoyment in this, I'm happy for you. For me, this was the absolute worst thing I have ever seen put out by DC. And that's saying something, considering a lot of stuff, but...
Also, characterizations were pretty bad. Clark was soulless. Batman was
Wonder Woman didn't even do anything.
Batman was such a grump. So you remember the Long Halloween?
And I don't know what happened. Oh, the voice direction was all over the place. People didn't even talk like they were in the same movie.
Dr. Light.
Whoever was writing this hated Dr. Light, and shame on you, because Dr. Light's awesome. She deserves better.
Who pissed at her Cheerios?
Yeah, she was just angry the whole movie for some
John Constantine was treated really badly. He was
he was the ultimate villain. That's what they pinned it on.
He was and such. It was just, and as an ending for the tomorrow, it's just a dissatisfying ending.
The ending not out to the Tomorrowverse. The ending of the entire DC animated movie universe, from Flashpoint to here.
Wasn't even triumphant. There's some triumphancy in the
they
comic.
They're like, oh, I guess we'll go to this new universe. They don't even restore... The thing is, the thing that created the multiverse is that Darkseid was killed as a baby. They don't restore Darkseid before going to the new universe, so it doesn't even make any sense in that sense.
Even though like there was a Wally in the DCAU they could just grab,
Yeah,
just go, hey, help us. Universe is ending, all that stuff.
it simultaneously wanted to do a beat-for-beat remake of the comic and also do its own thing, and it clashed so hard that it just didn't work. And it just... Scublord says that it's like the heroes just gave up and didn't try. That's how it felt like. And then they played a variation of the DCU Wonder Woman theme just to really twist the knife in my stomach.
Hey, you can just hear that at the very end there.
Yep. AR says, sad this is how Jensen Ackles' time as Batman comes to an end. Yeah, he didn't get good voice direction either. He was just a brick. I was like, he was better. He was good along Halloween. What the hell?
Also, the film, animation-wise, is pretty bland. The story.
You can tell it was rushed. Because there's background characters in the monitor station, people. And they're just like the stock models. They don't even move.
It was so bad.
I wish what they had done is really like, they could have made it a loving tribute to past DC animation and bring in just a bunch of characters. Like, what if Razor and Aya were main characters? What if Green Lantern and Hawk were main characters, Well,
Brandon the Bull Batman was the leader to take it down the Antimatter.
Just to mix it up. It could have been something really... I think that's why it's so low for me. Because I felt like I had expectation of it being much better.
Flash Superman could easily use his Toon Force power to take down the Antimatter.
Yeah. We've seen... And we're in a post-Spider-Verse world. You can't put out something this flat. Yes, they did plagiarize a Black Lightning design from a fan.
Yep.
Spin Dash, the very thick outlines and everything, that is a Tomorrowverse staple.
And it did not look good when they tried to emulate other art styles like the DCU or the Camu.
Yep.
It did not look good.
But yeah, I think that's why, I just can't rank it any... I wish it never was made, because Cameron says he's sad that how angry we are about it, but that's why I'm mad. I wish it just never had been made, because I would have been... I would feel better if it had never existed, because it just makes me so mad. And that's regardless of the fact that, like, Crisis is my favorite DC comic. I'm a DC animation fan, and I find it just be a terrible movie.
It's a bad DC
and a slap in the face as a DC animation fan, as a fan of DC in general. And then on top of that, it's my favorite comic of all time, and I just watched it get butchered for 4.5 hours.
It's just funny because the season finale of My Adventure Superman aired the same week this came out, and that finale felt like the total opposite of this. It just felt like a celebration of DC with that Superman with that finale, and this is not.
Thank you, Infinite. I have forgotten to breathe. That's why I wanted to get this tier list done. I wanted to get all these thoughts out so I can move on. You're not going to hear me talk about this movie trilogy week after week. I'm not getting hung up on it.
You had to mention it again because you need to do that finale. This the Spider.
I will only mention it when it comes to the Blu-ray spine thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Like, there's supposedly a trilogy pack coming out for the movies. I'm just going to wait for that. I can't buy these individually.
It's your legacy. You need. I will draw the thumbnail. I will draw that thumbnail called Crisis If It's Spine Arts.
Yes.
It's you holding the 3 movies in your hands.
That feels like what we need. Peacemaker, perfect summation. He says, it sounds like a bad movie at a baseline that gets worse with greater context.
So what's more insulting, this film or The Flash?
Here's the thing about The Flash. It spits on the grave of dead people, but only a few. This spits on, like, everything. I actually feel like I was more insulted by Crisis than The Flash. Because with The Flash, it's like...
you had more... Because...
It's more wide-reaching with this. It's more wide-reaching with this than it is with The Flash.
The Flash, like, it did not destroy the other... Okay, it did. I guess it did, but I think they reversed it.
They restored it at the end, yeah. There was, like...
Yeah.
Showed, like, they... If I remember correctly, when he beat Dark Flash, he ran back in time to fix everything, and it fixed everything. Because what was causing the implosion was Dark Flash's existence. So when Dark Flash no longer existed, it stopped because we didn't see the universes get wiped. They were getting wiped. They were in mid-wipe. And he saved them all. Whereas this wiped everything and condensed it into one Earth that I hope we never see again.
And also, I think also because the Flash was... they were not building up to the Flash at all. There was no big epic. No, just
there wasn't.
Flash.
The Flash didn't have an entire movie named Justice League War World that only existed to set it up.
or the Constantine stuff or anything like that.
AR
or
says
coming
if you
from
cut out the cameos, it's still some fun stuff in it, and Ace liked the Flash. Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's stuff I can like about the Flash as a movie. You know, take the Ezra Miller context out of it, take the AI dead people out of it. There's still some stuff I like in it. You know, I like Supergirl. I like some of the dynamics of like the way that they were trying to bring Batman back, and he was kind of like a crazy old man. I like stuff like that. I actually, there's some cringe moments, and I did like the Justice League type scene at the beginning where like Batman, Superman, or Batman, Wonder Woman, and Flash are working together. I liked some of that stuff. There's stuff I can like about the Flash, whereas with Crisis, I can't pinpoint too much.
Also, I think there's no legacy with the Flash. Like, yeah, there was Michael Keaton Batman and Tetley and the AI corpses and such, but like they weren't like like Nicolas Cage Superman was not a real film. It was just a made up film and such. And the only like really bad ones are like the Christopher Reeve one, especially,
and
but
George Reeves.
And George Reeves. Those are really bad, but like it didn't feel like it was just a tiny part of it. They didn't.
Whereas this entire movie is into that.
I think also it was like the idea of it. The Flash was just meant to be a Flashpoint adaptation. This was meant to be the big ol' Infinite Crisis, the worlds are ending kind of film.
And it just didn't land for me at all.
I think it was those exorcizations. I think you have not these films, but DC animated stuff has more higher exorcizations.
I mean, look at how much S and A tier material is here, you know?
Yeah.
DC animated movies are like, and a lot of these movies, like Under the Red Hood or Crisis on Two Earths or Public Enemies, they got me to go read comics because they were based on comics. And they had bonus features that were like, this is the comic we adapt. And I was like, I'm going to go check that comic out at the library, or I'm going to go pick that up at a comic store. It got me to read comics. And then the further the movies went along, the less that function was there. And Crisis on Infinite Earths, if you guys watch the movies, please go read the original Crisis comic. It's worth it. Trust me. Trust me, it's worth it. I mean, it's Marv Wolfman and George Perez. There's a reason I sought them out to get them to sign my copy.
You just need to watch the Teen Titans Go episode of guest starring.
And if you want to watch a good Crisis adaptation, go watch the CW one. Legitimately was the best thing they ever did, and it was good stuff.
Wasn't the Justice League Infinity the DCAU sequel comic for Unlimited? Wasn't that the Crisis adaptation?
It kind of was, yeah. It was more of an Infinite Crisis than a Crisis.
Okay, more. Yeah, I wasn't worried about it. I didn't remember which Crisis it was.
I have to use the bathroom. Because
we should call I
think it's time to call it a day. Thank you for joining us for the DC animation tier list and Crisis on Infinite Earths rant spoiler talk. I had to get all that out, and I feel better now. I legitimately do feel better now that we've had this discussion, we've talked it out, and everything is. Cameron, great idea. Write your own Crisis adaptation. I like that. You do that. You enjoy that. I think
my favorite thing that came out of Crisis Part 3 is going to the comments of the Thanos baby scene from Endgame, and going to the newest comments is all just people typing, John Constantine's writing this down as his plan.
Yeah. I think that's the other problem too. There's some stupid moments, and they're so stupid you can't even make fun of them. They're just depressingly dumb. But let's wrap up the stream. I need to use the bathroom. We have a members after show. For anybody that's members, stick around. We'll do a little after show soon. Just keep an eye out.
You can ask him. You can ask more. You can ask more dots on Crisis.
Yeah, you can ask me thoughts on things that don't make me irrationally upset.
You can pay Soundout to take off his clothes.
No, that's for the OnlyFans stream. That's later.
Hey, start prepping it early.
So, Kals,
if you're a man.
Kals, what do you do tomorrow?
Well, I'll disassociate a lot less when I stream King of Fighters 15.
And talk about
you can talk about your boy. You can talk about your boy Terry.
Yes, and how Japan is free.
And how he's taking over Kyo's role as he came out.
He already has, Ryan.
Man, the people who don't understand, man.
Terry used to be a mascot, and then
who the fuck is he? Yeah, exactly.
This is a debate for tomorrow on Couch Street. I really need to use the bathrooms. Let's wrap this up.
Follow me at Darko. Follow me at Darko
Eastern.
Yeah, follow me at Darko Secret Tree on YouTube and Twitter. I do Archivist Link. Why do you see this raid channel? Why don't you feel free to DM me on Twitter or Sound Disco Protocol? Wheels, what's our awesome website?
You gotta check out our website, Hero-Club.com. And if you don't, then you're not actually one of Soundout's real followers. Yeah, that's the
you
challenge.
you
Go
you'll
support
be
Hero Club.
or else you'll be erasing Crisis.
Yes.
Exactly.
You can find me here on the YouTube channel. Cool videos coming this week. There's gonna be a Deadpool and a Wolverine video because that's the topic of the week. And I'll be back for the member stream. Like I said, let's just say 8:30ish, and we'll be back soon. See you guys next week. For those of you who aren't members.